We go live.
Although we're hey guys, I'm just gonna a little behind the scenes doing a little. Oh god, yeah, they see our secret layer in the background. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, you might be a little. You might have to move your mic a little. I think you'll be okay. Yeah, let's scoot in. We can scoot in together.
All right. So now we're going to go live with episode 249 of GameSpeak Podcast. Let's Yo, and hello, and welcome to the 249th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are now streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, youtube.com/CreateForSanity, and facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast if you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else. Also, be sure to join the community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. This show is two childhood BFFs and a brand new BFF who's not here, bringing you all things video games. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent, Battlement Bass.
Battlement?
Yeah,
like a mint you would eat before going into battle?
Yeah.
To keep your breath fresh
That's
in
what,
the throes of war?
Yeah, back in World War II, this is a true fact. They had battle mints, all right?
Is this actually a true
no,
fact?
No, this is not,
this just
but
some...
they're battle mints.
I would believe it. You know, they gave them those cigarettes with the, like, rations, you know, so I was figuring it might be something that came with, like, their MREs or something, you know?
Maybe they did. I'm sure they did. But, you know, like, I think it was, like, the Germans back in World War II, they were all, like, cracked out. Like, all of them were on meth or something. It was meth. Yeah.
I think they still give pilots, like, amphetamines when they fly so they don't, like, pass out from the G-forces and shit of, like, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they give them meth or they give them, like...
I don't know, man. I
think
it's probably like, you know, it's meth, but it's like, you know, it's meth. It's meth.
It's just a little bit of meth.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know for a fact, you know, back then, it was just like a normal thing. It was like, shit, let's get these guys some meth. Then they'll fight for us, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, anyways, it's good to be back. I had the COVID. The COVID. I had the Omicron, got tested, came back positive.
It's hitting everybody these days.
Sucks.
Man, that sucks, yeah.
Yeah, don't get COVID. Whatever you do, you know, it's not fun. But, you know, I think it's kind of at this point, everybody's going to get it.
Yeah,
so
you know.
It is what it is.
At some point, it's pretty likely, you know.
Yes.
Fortunately, it's kind of like chicken pox. Like, I'm glad it's over with for me, you know?
Yeah, like it just
doesn't
come back.
Hopefully I don't get it again, you know? But I think you do get some kind of, like, antibodies, so you don't
for a
get
little
it.
while, yeah.
So you're good for a minute after you get it, so, you know.
That would suck to get double COVID.
It's like the pros, the silver lining to that cloud, you know? I don't know.
I like that.
So,
like that.
What have you been doing besides COVID? How's your COVID-y couple weeks been? I mean, I know it's probably sucked, but, like, you know, did you do anything fun amid the suck?
You know, I worked.
It sucks that you work from home.
You're right. I got, like, one day off. Right. It's all good. You can keep going. But, yeah, so I got back into some anime that I had kind of, like, fallen off of. So, like, I picked back up on One Piece. I'm picking up on that a little bit more, getting past Skypiea. And then, for all those that know what that even is. And then I got back into Demon Slayer and finally watched Mugen Train arc, and that was dope as hell. Like, I don't know how they do it with Demon Slayer. Like, how they just, like, draw you in for, like, an arc or whatever for like that season, and like they show you these characters and just like you're just in it. You're in it to win it.
I'm gonna have to give that one another shot because I watched the first episode and I was like, this seems really good, and then I just never watched any more of it. You know,
it's weird. It's really hard to explain why a Demon Slayer is good, other than the fact that like the quality is so above like most things that are out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the quality's on the next level. Like when it comes to the animation,
I like
and
that.
the way it looks and the story.
That's kind of important for me with anime. You know, I can't watch certain animes just because I don't respect the art style.
Don't respect.
I'm serious. Like, you know that show Ruby? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't like shows like that have that 3D anime art style. That shit really bothers me for some reason. And it could be the best show ever, and I'm not gonna give it a chance because I don't like the art style.
Or it looks
weird.
like the Robotech games from back in the day. Yeah.
The only exception for that is that Star Wars Visions show, and that's just because they switch the art style every episode, so I can like accept the fact that like
some of them.
Yeah, you know.
I feel that. Yeah, it's really good, and then I'm finishing up, or like I'm catching up to Attack on Titan. So I'm like I'm almost caught up.
I've heard the recent Attack on Titan stuff is awesome.
It is.
I kind of lost me in season 3 a little bit, honestly. So I need to go back and give it another shot.
I thought season 3 was really boring. Like
I watched the first
frank.
half of season 3 with the Historia shit and like I don't know. It just really fell off for me because I was wanting to see more of like I don't know. It just didn't go the direction I wanted it to go after season 2. You know what I mean?
Same. But then after like, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch back up. I watched like they have like a movie called Attack on Titan Chronicle or whatever.
Oh, an animated movie?
Well, yeah, it's just the anime, but it's just all it is like a super cut version of season 1, 2, and 3, like in 2 hours. Is like so
cool.
you can catch up, and it shows you like all the way up to like right before season 4.
Oh, neat.
And then you just hop into season 4 because like I had already watched all the way through season 3, and then I was so bored with it that I didn't
recap
care.
or what?
Yeah, like I just forgot what was going on because I was like, why did I get bored with this? And the funny thing is like by the end of the movie, I was like, I don't know if I even want to watch season 4 after how boring it was. But then I started season 4, and now I'm like all in it. So season 4 is so much better than season 3. But yeah, so catching back up on that, and then that's about it. I went and saw Scream.
Oh, I saw Scream as well.
It was Scream 4.
It was
again.
okay.
It was literally Scream 4.
I honestly thought Scream 4 was better.
Me too.
You know, like it made a lot of jokes like, oh, the last movie sucked. Like, you know how it's kind of trying to be like self-aware and like all the Scream movies are. And they kept making jokes like, oh, the most recent movie was terrible. Ha 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 ha. But it's like, honestly, the most recent movie might have been better than this, you know? Honestly, I think this might be the worst Scream movie. It's been getting a lot of praise, too.
Has it?
Yeah, which is kind of weird for me. Like, I don't know, I keep seeing articles like how they kept it fresh with Scream, and it's like, that wasn't fresh.
It was literally
nothing about that was fresh.
It was a complete redo of 4, which is the one that they kept saying sucked.
It was like 4 and 1
mixed
smashed together, yes. Which, you know.
Like the whole thing about them being like, in a scary movie, this happens, blah, 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 blah. That happened all throughout 4.
Yeah, that's like they did it all throughout all of the Scream movies. I mean, that's like a thing with Scream. Like, I'm not knocking them for that. But it was just, it didn't feel fresh. It didn't feel different. It was just the same movie over again.
Yeah, it really was.
Weird. Like, I don't know, man.
And
like,
then, like, they're all so old now that, like, it's just really depressing.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
oh, man.
There was, like, no, like, redeeming quality to them being really old.
Yes,
they just kept talking
just
about how old they were.
And except for that one chick was looking good. Everybody was looking terrible except Sydney. Sydney's over here looking fine as hell at her old age. You know what I mean?
But Sydney is also, like, 10 years younger than them.
Hey,
like,
I'm
you
just
know,
saying,
so, like,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
She still got it.
I thought
you know
Dewey looked all right, too. Like, Dewey looked fine, but, like, he was, like, old. You know, like, and they tried to make him look bad. Like, it was weird.
They tried really hard to make him look disheveled.
Yeah, he's, like, in shape and, like, you know, probably, like, in better shape than any other character in the whole movie. But they're like, he's old and looks a mess. And it's like,
and then they had that character that, like, you could tell they, like, tried really hard to make him look like Freddie Prinze Jr. You know what I mean? The blonde character who looked like he was ripped from every 90s movie, fucking like the
the kid? Yeah, he's actually he's like really famous. He's in a bunch of stuff.
He did a great job. Like, I think he
Yeah.
was one of the better like actors in the actual movie. I just feel like the role they had him fill was like,
I forget. He's in a band too. I forget, like some pretty big band. I forget what they're called. Like this.
you know, I honestly feel like this movie kind of wanted to do what the most recent Halloween movie did. Like, I feel like the most recent Halloween movie was fucking awesome, and it had like all the fucking old characters in it, and like it was really fucking good. And then like, I don't know, I feel like Scream was trying to go for that vibe, and it didn't nail it.
No.
You know what I mean?
And it sucks because I love Scream.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite like horror and I didn't like hate this movie, you know? I thought it was like, you know, definitely the worst Scream movie.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
not
actually
bad,
I
yeah.
think the worst, like, okay, I think that this movie is worse than the MTV Scream
TV
series.
show?
Yeah. But not as bad as season 3 of the MTV Scream series. So like Scream, the TV show, season 1 and 2, like was really good to me. I actually think it might be one of the best Scream stories. But then like nobody liked it because the Ghostface mask
Wasn't the same.
wasn't like the traditional Ghostface mask. So for season 3, instead of just changing the mask, they completely recast the whole show and like fucking like set it in a different place. Like it shouldn't have even been called season 3. Like they reboot the whole entire show, and like it was so terrible. Like it was like season 3 was like it went from like an 8 out of 10 show to like a fucking 5 out of 10 show. Like overnight. Like it
My
was
sister
really
said
bad.
that the like the exact opposite. Like she thought like the opposite.
Dude, that your sister, I love your sister to death, but that is the
But
most
she's
horrible
wrong.
opinion I've ever heard.
What's
It's
up,
like,
Chris?
They basically took like this, it had a good story, a good cast, and then they basically took all of that and ripped it away and replaced it with like Tyga. Fucking like
The greatest actor of all time.
dude, yeah, Tyga. I think I don't. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna ruin it for you. Tyga's the fucking bad guy. Tyga is fucking the Scream killer, dude. Fucking so. I like if that sounds fucking awesome to you. Like I don't know, man. It was just awful, dude. Like it was really bad, and it's not just because Tyga was in it. Like it was just really bad. Like
I feel that.
I can't. That's one of the most angry things. Like the most angry I've been about a show since Reaper got canceled after like season 3. Like,
Thanks for the compliment on the background. Threw that together earlier. By the way, the guy that you were talking about, the Freddie Prinze Jr. guy, he's in a band called Wallows.
oh, okay.
He's like the lead singer. But
Are they good?
yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna get like it doesn't matter because YouTube's whatever. I'm just gonna skip to the chorus real quick.
Should I know this? Hold up. I don't think I've heard this.
It's so catchy.
It is.
Like,
It's
but-
beautiful. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that guy's actually super talented.
Kind of got like
person.
an MGMT kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess I never thought of it that way. I was just like, it's indie, or something like it's that indie sound.
I like it. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So saw that. That's about it. What about you?
So I watched Scream also.
Okay.
I've also been like my Hulu went out. So
Son of
basically
a bitch.
when my Hulu goes out, everything goes out, including like my Game Pass and my Disney and my, ESPN. So I'm reduced to like Netflix, you know what I'm saying?
Why does this happen? Why?
Because
is
I
this
pay everything at the same time whenever so like if it goes out on me like this and I don't have the money to pay it, then I
Then
like
you
have to
have-
wait till
yeah.
my payday to pay for everything, So
Dang.
it always ends up like being in the same time in my recurring bill cycles or whatever. So anyways, I missed my payment on Hulu or whatever, so I'm fucked like out of like half my entertainment stuff. So I've been like combing Netflix, and there's that new show on Netflix. Have you checked it out? The Archive 81 or whatever?
No, what is it?
Okay, it's really fucking good. So I'm not going to like spoil anything for you. I'm only like 5 episodes in, so it could just turn into trash and become the worst show ever. But like the first 5 episodes have been like fucking addictive, like really, really good. And like it's a weird show. It's got that like House on Haunted Hill kind of vibe where everything's like kind of dissonant feeling and like weird, like Hereditary or something. Like,
Oh, okay.
where it's like it just feels like uncomfortable, the whole show, kind of.
Is it a horror or?
It's I don't know, almost. It's like a thriller kind of.
Oh, okay.
So it's like this guy, he cleans tapes for a living, like he repairs like damaged videotapes or whatever, and he works for like a museum that like, and like this big conglomerate that like, spoiler alert, they turn out to be like a cult. This is not spoiling too much for you. You can pretty much read it in the description. But like this big cult basically hires him to come work for them and like scrub these tapes, right? So he's like uncovering this like crazy shit through all these tapes and like finding out this mystery, and all the while he's like uncovering secrets about the cult, and the cult's like trying to keep him down. It's really, really interesting so far. Like if you're into like, I don't know, it's really giving me like Hereditary vibes. So if you're into like Hereditary, I would definitely check it out. It's really weird and like supernatural kind of, but also like detective-y. I don't know. I'm enjoying it a lot. So
if you don't like Hereditary, then don't watch movies.
Yeah, just don't watch movies or anything if you don't watch.
You have no taste. No. Chris says, look up Ibitsu Manga. This is a freak show book.
Okay.
We'll have to check that out.
I'll have to definitely check that out.
But we are going to jump into the video game news because last week, right after we posted, or Devin and Brent posted last week's episode, some of the biggest news, I think, in recent gaming history, if not ever, happened.
Ever.
So
definitely the biggest. Well, we'll go.
We'll hype it up. Yeah, just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the articles as our own. We're simply bringing them all here so we can talk about this interesting shit. So let's start it off with the big news here. And I chose one that is like kind of further into, it was updated a lot, but basically Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for a startling $68.7 billion. This is half of Microsoft's money.
That's a disgusting amount of money, by the way. $70 billion.
But think about that. That's half of their cash. Like of the company, not just
insane.
Xbox, which makes you realize how
that's like a big chunk percentage-wise of just the money floating around in the world right now. Like that's like a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot
dude.
of cash. It's an acquisition unlike any other we've seen in the video game industry, and its impact will be felt for years and years to come because of just how monumental it is. IGN gathered answers to some of the biggest questions around the deal. So. Basically, it says, when will the Xbox and Activision deal be completed? In an email sent to Activision Blizzard employees, CEO Bobby Kotick shared that he expects the deal to close sometime in Microsoft's fiscal 2023 year, which ends in June 20th, on June 20th, 2023. So this whole deal won't be full until next, or it won't be closed until next year. But it's happening.
I mean, it's definitely happening.
Yeah, so it says, how does the Xbox and Activision deal compare to other deals? Microsoft's deal with Activision Blizzard is one of the biggest acquisitions in the video game industry's history, and in fact, in the history of the entertainment industry,
Think about it this way. They paid 10 times what they paid for Bethesda for this deal.
Yep.
10 times. That was a $7 billion deal.
After they already dropped $7 billion, they dropped $70 billion.
I mean, you think about the money they've just dropped as a whole. I mean, it's got to be pushing $100 billion right now. You know what I mean? Like, we got.
Will be $77 billion, and then like plus those indie studios.
So
they purchased
many other
and stuff.
studios, not just the indies. I mean, we've got like Rare and fucking like.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, you think about the past
years.
like 4 or 5 years of just them collecting studios like fucking Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Though the Rare was purchased back in the 360 days. That was like right after.
I still feel like it counts because it's like one. I mean, sure they haven't utilized Rare to its full potential, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, like, so somebody did like a thing where they went and looked. This purchase of Activision Blizzard is actually more money than the next 15 biggest video game purchases, like
combined. Yeah,
like the next 15.
No doubt.
So that's fucking crazy.
My thing is like, okay, And I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but this doesn't feel worth it to me. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Call of Duty is a huge deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
World of
top
Warcraft
selling
is a big
game
deal.
of every year.
StarCraft has a legacy that nobody can touch, but $70 billion, dude. Like, that's insane. Like,
well, think about it this way. All right, so Call of Duty is like the second most selling franchise of all time, and then not only that, it's been the top selling game of every month, not every month, but every year. The number one selling game every year for the past 13 years. Never once has it been superseded in the past 13 years as the top selling game that comes out each year. And then this year alone, Vanguard was the top selling game, and the second top selling game was the one that came out before it this year. Like, that came out last year. What was the other Call of Duty that came out before Vanguard?
Like World War II or something, or no, Cold War.
Cold War.
Yeah.
So Cold War was the second best-selling game of this entire year, right behind Vanguard. Like, it doesn't end. The Call of Duty money doesn't end.
And don't get me wrong, that's not going to change anytime soon. But to recuperate $70 billion, you're going to need more than just one game that's the best-selling game every year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I don't think that's the goal, though. I think the whole point here...
Definitely. It's more than just making your money back off of this deal. It's having that brand recognition in your arsenal. It's controlling the market in a way.
And the future. This, I think they're looking 15 years into the future right now. They're not looking into this year or next year. They're thinking... When we are the Netflix of video games, which that's the fact that Microsoft spent half of their cash on this shows me that this wasn't just an Xbox thing. The Microsoft executives came in and they were like, all right, Game Pass is the future. And not only is Game Pass the future, we got the metaverse coming up. We got to get all this shit figured out. And they're doing it now. And apparently, like, going forward pretty soon, like, they're going to start doing, like, metaverse, like, meetings at Microsoft, like, where they only meet up in VR and stuff, like the executives and all that stuff, which is really interesting because...
Considering they don't support VR at all with their hardware.
I seriously have a feeling that in the next year they're going to announce that Xbox is going to... not an Xbox VR, that Xbox will support all VR besides PlayStation VR. I guarantee you it's going to be something like that because it is powerful enough to run most VR.
If you were going to do that, you would have to find a way to integrate into like the Steam ecosystem, which would be really detrimental to Xbox's like overall, because like you can't just jump into just the Steam VR ecosystem unless you figured out a way to do that and make Steam okay with it.
Yeah.
You'd have to have like a whole platform that you built on Xbox to sell VR games that you could use with any headset theoretically.
Which I wouldn't put it past Microsoft at this point.
And Microsoft is definitely powerful enough, but also Microsoft has the Windows mixed reality branding already. As much as it sucks and it's like bottom tier fucking headsets, like some of the Lenovo one of the good ones uses the Windows mixed reality, fucking like platform. Yeah, so it's not like completely trash. Like the Samsung Odyssey's okay. Some of the Windows mixed reality headsets aren't terrible.
Yeah. But speaking about like how you said like, oh well, just one game isn't worth it or whatever. Let's look into how many studios they just acquired, which was actually 11 studios. They got Blizzard Entertainment, they got Beanox, they got Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity Ward, King.
Well, obviously they're getting, more than one. Like, I was definitely just being facetious.
I'm saying let's look into the other games that come with that.
Because they do get a lot. They're getting
Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, Treyarch.
And for those of you that don't know what all this means, like Toys for Bob is like Spyro the Dragon, fucking Crash Bandicoot, all these like remakes that have been coming out lately. Fucking we got Diablo as a series coming from I forget which.
Yeah, I forget which one. I think
one
it's
of
Blizzard.
Those guys.
That's just Blizzard.
Blizzard. But
but yeah, like a lot of these, and then there's also been rumors from this that they're gonna stop doing Call of Duty annually. Apparently that's gonna be a thing like they're looking into, which would be great for the game itself.
I don't. As long as you maintain Warzone, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
And so it says. Basically, with those, yeah, let's look into what's BNox. I don't even know what BNox is.
You know what I would like instead of a fucking annual Call of Duty is like a full-on PS5 upgrade for Warzone and an Xbox Series X upgrade, because they don't have a proper fucking port. You know, right now they've got like, you know, enhanced frame rates and resolutions and shit, but they don't have like, you know, better textures and shit if you load it up on the PS5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
They do have that high texture pack, but it's still not the same. It's just not as good. You know what I mean? Like, they could do a lot more with it. I'm confident. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And well, by the way, BNox is they did the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes. Which
there's a lot of publishing that goes on in Activision too, not just like, you know, like I think Sekiro was published by Activision or something like that. So
well, and that's a crazy thing. So like now they own Tony Hawk, they own Call of Duty, they own Guitar Hero, which Phil Spencer mentioned.
That would be a freaking sweet thing to bring back. Like, I would not mind that IP. Especially, you know, rhythm games kind of are making a comeback these days, you know?
Mainly in VR, but...
Mainly, but I think there's room for it, you know? I think there's a space for it these days, you know?
Somebody put, or I think that's Chris. He said, "Why don't they just make a giant world, put all of them together, and boom, you got one." I'm sure they'll do something similar to that, where they're gonna mix a lot of.
It's just like one game with fucking everything.
Yeah,
it's like Master
but
Chief
in the metaverse,
like
it's like you walk into different areas. It's like, oh, I'm going to Call of Duty area, you know, and like you just go play in VR.
Man,
and then
you know, I actually have that letter that Bobby Kotick sent out. Like written down over here, and he specifically talks about the metaverse like implicitly in the letter, which is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
And apparently he's going. Like he's going to be gone. Like after this deal closes, like they've already confirmed like he's out. Like Bobby
Not
Kotick's
before he gets a modest cut.
Exactly.
Of this deal.
Yeah. So this is going to be okay. What will be Microsoft's biggest franchises and games when the deal closes? They'll have so this is just like in general their biggest franchises, but it's going to be Age of Empires, Banjo-Kazooie, Battletoads, Call of Duty, Candy Crush. That's another thing that comes with this is Candy Crush.
A lot of mobile stuff, actually, not just Candy Crush. That mobile studio that makes Candy Crush has a lot of like really high profiting mobile games on
for
there.
Cheap to keep it running.
Yeah.
No, and then we got Crash Bandicoot, which is funny, is now an Xbox like exclusive.
Yeah.
We got Deathloop.
That's actually really cool, man. A lot of people miss Deathloop because it's so hard to get a console this cycle. But I think when it comes to Game Pass, it's really going to get the love it deserves. So I'm really excited for people to get to play Deathloop because it's an awesome game.
For sure.
And I hope it gets a sequel.
Diablo, Dishonored, Doom, Fable, Fallout, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport, Gears of War, Geometry Wars. I guess that comes with Activision. Guitar Hero, Halo, Hearthstone. That's the other thing. They get Hearthstone, which is a huge game. Hellblade, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Microsoft Solitaire. I guess that's a big franchise. But Minecraft Dungeons, Overwatch, Perfect Dark, Pillars of Eternity.
Oh, I forgot Overwatch is Blizzard. Wow, that's a big one right there. That's one that you don't really think about, but that's another game that I think on Game Pass will find a new life. You know what I
especially when they drop Overwatch 2 and it's Xbox exclusive. They ain't gonna do that. I mean, I guess they have to at this point, but
they probably will.
It'll be PC and Xbox. And then they got Pillars of Eternity, Psychonauts, Quake, Sea of Thieves, Skylanders, Spyro the Dragon, which is now an Xbox exclusive, StarCraft, State of Decay, The Elder Scrolls, The Outer Worlds, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Wasteland, Wolfenstein, and World of Warcraft. Lest we forget, World of Warcraft is now a Microsoft owned product.
Oh, that'd be nice if they put a World of Warcraft out
on console.
On console.
That's absolutely a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be like
today or tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's going to happen. Like you're going to get World of Warcraft on Xbox.
So, okay. This undoubtedly puts Xbox in a crazy good position, you know?
For sure.
But see, my thing is like, okay, right now I look at it like we got PlayStation over here as like Marvel and fucking, you know, Xbox over here as DC. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's like Warner Brothers owns DC and like a billion other properties, but it's like, do they do anything with it? You know what I mean? Do they really go out and like make shit the way Disney does? Because like, look at fucking Marvel the past few years. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
More than past few years.
The amount of shit they put out, like the content that's coming out of fucking Disney, and it's like, I don't know, like the comparison seems apt to be because they both have potential. They both could be pumping money into this and making movies and selling movies, you know what I mean? But it's like, I just hope Xbox doesn't pull a Warner Brothers, I guess is my point.
I think it's easy to see it that way, like especially right now when they haven't owned these studios for long at all. And it's like, oh, well, they haven't done anything, but it's like, give it like 4 or 5 years whenever they can find. I mean, look what they've done with Halo and Forza. You know, like their only 2 exclusives have both been like amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what they've been able to put out. You know, like and going forward, you know, they plan on having at least like 2 exclusives every year was like their goal or whatever.
Yeah.
So
well, that shouldn't be hard.
No, exactly. So next year, you know, we're gonna have you know, hopefully some at least Fable, and we know for a fact we're getting Starfield, and Starfield alone is going to change the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? I think Starfield is going to change the game for sure, but I really think that so I think next year will be the year of the announcements, and 2024 will be the year of the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily think that this is like the death blow for PlayStation that everybody thinks it is. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Everybody's talking about this, like, and I definitely, you know, it sucks to be PlayStation right now just because of all the hype, you know? But I really don't think PlayStation has to do anything different or like change their game plan or anything. You know, as long as they keep making quality content and like frequently putting if they put out as much original shit as they did last generation, this generation, and like continue to do so, I don't think it'll be an issue. You know what I mean?
I'm not.
And I think they've got a plan.
Well, that's my thing. Is just like, okay, I do think they have to change something, and that is that they have to get on board with a subscription like based thing, and that needs to be their focus because. And
I think they got something for that.
Yeah, they're working on it. Yeah, and that right there is what's going to matter because. In the end, 10 years from now, it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to who has the best subscription platform, and it's going to be about, like, you know, who has the most affordable with the most content. And that's really what it's going to be, and that's what Xbox is putting themselves in, you know, in line to do, is to be the Netflix of fucking video games. That's their goal right now. Like, I feel like everybody is just like, oh, well, you know, Xbox sucks, and it's like, yes, they did suck, but Xbox, the console, is not what it's about anymore. They don't give a fuck about their console anymore. The console is just a way to get you Game Pass.
The console is still great, though. I mean,
it's still great.
Let's not undercut how massively awesome the fucking Xbox Series X is for the price. You know what I mean? It is an amazing machine.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course, it's amazing, but, I mean, it's not their focus anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have, and that's a good thing. They don't have to focus on the hardware anymore because now it's just a way for you to get Game Pass. But, like, at the end of this year, you'll be able to play Game Pass on your fucking smart TV. You won't need an Xbox. You'll just be able to Bluetooth your Xbox controller to your TV and play fucking whatever game you want. Yeah, it'll be streamed.
The internet can hold up,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'll be streamed, but you have the option. It's there. So you can play it on your iPhone. You play it on your Android. You can play it on your TV. You don't want, and you want better quality, fucking buy an Xbox. If you don't want an Xbox Series S because it's you know, it doesn't have 4K, go for the Series X. If you don't want to play it there, play it on your PC. You know,
see,
like,
what's interesting though is this is the exact logic that leads me to buy the PS5 because I can have the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Just because I know with confidence that Xbox will have an option for me.
Correct.
That I can, you know, I don't need the console. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I got my PS5 because now I got everything. You know what I mean? I can fucking play it all. You know, for the low price of $15 a month.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's
not even that actually, because I play PC Game Pass. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, so for you and for most people right now, it's like, yeah, obviously we're gonna go PS5 because Game Pass is great and all, but it doesn't have that much on it yet.
Yeah.
But give it like 5-10 years. people aren't going to be buying a console whenever they can have the majority of like the popular third-party games plus first-party games all for $15 a month. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why buy a console at that point?
So I think the future we're headed towards is the future where Xbox is like Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where there's just tons of original content coming from Xbox, and their streaming service is the king.
And third parties.
But I don't think that means we'll get rid of PlayStation. As a matter of fact, I think in the future there will be less console wars, and people will just have both subscriptions, like fucking Hulu or something. You know what I mean? Like, I really do.
Though the only problem is Sony will never bow to like allowing a different subscription service on their console. You know, like I guarantee you, if Sony put out like if it came to Xbox and was like, hey, can we put PlayStation Now on your shit? They would be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. But right now, like Sony and like the Japanese culture around business is like, it's like this like honor of like no. Like,
but see, that's all, like you said, it's not going to matter because 10 years from now, we're all going to be playing on our smart TV anyway. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
They're going to have to bend. Either that or the company will go. Like, not the company, but Sony video games will not. They can't survive.
I mean, as it stands right now, PlayStation Now is just as accessible as Xbox Game Pass.
But only has 3 million subscribers versus 25 million.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that it's like doing better. I'm just saying like you can play it on PC, you can play it on your tablet. It's available on the go. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like, it's not like it's just some, I don't know. Like it's very similar, you know.
Without day and date, like first party titles and all that stuff. And it's like it's got good quality content from PS4 era, and it's got like.
Well, that's the biggest issue, really, is that you don't have any PS5 games on it.
Yep.
You know. But I think that's also because they don't want to load it up with PS5 games when they're about to drop whatever their next thing is. They don't want to soup up PlayStation Now when whatever this thing they've got up their sleeve is coming out like a month or two from now. Like, I really think so. We've got this dead zone, right? Like, next month we have big games launching. We've got fucking Dying Light 2, we've got Horizon Forbidden West, we've got Sifu, we've got a lot of like important games in PlayStation's arsenal coming next month and I think March. So I'm expecting a big announcement in this void between March and fucking the end of the year. Because, like, there's just this empty space after March where I think we're going to start getting a lot of info about the future of PlayStation. You know I mean?
Of course. I don't think PlayStation's sleeping at all. I know PlayStation's on the ball, but my thing is, like, looking at it as, like, a business and, like, where it's going. Like, I don't doubt PlayStation's already 10 times ahead of my thinking on it. Like, 100,000 times ahead of my thinking on it. But they can, it's like how they do it is what's going to matter. Like how they present it and how they come out the gate,
Yeah.
Because right now, which is really dumb in my opinion, the console war is like at its fucking peak right now. And it's just because Xbox bought that, bought Activision Blizzard. So most people in like, like I don't want to sound like I'm saying everybody's dumb, but most people on the internet are really dumb. All right. It's
true.
like everybody's just like, oh, fucking, like it's a monopoly, and it's like that's not how monopolies work. And then they're like, oh, well, it's a, like PlayStation's, getting fucked over because of this, and it's like, no, they're not. PlayStation still has fucking amazing games. Like,
and it's not like Sony doesn't have massive amounts of capital
to
buy other studios if they really wanted to,
which they have been
like,
over the years. Like they just bought Blue Point, which is a fucking big
great
deal.
Studio,
yeah. It's like people just like to fight over things that they put no like energy into until it's just like a fun like battle. And it's like it's like just do some research on the shit. Like the future of gaming is happening right now in front of us, like with Sony and Xbox and even Nintendo, because you can see Nintendo branching off into like these theme parks and stuff, because I feel like they know that their time is like running out.
Yeah.
They're like trying to figure out what to do, and it's really upsetting because I love Nintendo.
Yeah.
But
I think the Mario brand will carry them for
forever.
But they might have to change their path a little bit, but I think Nintendo will never die.
No, and they won't. But there will come a time where there's just no way they can keep up hardware wise, like console. And they're gonna have to start doing weird shit. Like
I think they just got to change. They're gonna have to change their business model to be competitive again.
That would be.
They're
crazy.
gonna have to go back to the N64 days where they release a console that actually competes with the fucking modern hardware on the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Which I don't know if they have the funds to do that. Like, I know they have a lot of money, but Nintendo's nowhere near the money that Sony has, or nowhere near the money that Xbox has.
I don't necessarily think you need, I think they've got enough capital to make a powerful machine. What you need is a deal with one of these graphics cards companies. If you can talk to AMD or somebody, or Nvidia or something, and strike a fucking deal with them and get your parts cheap, you know what I mean? Because that's the reason we have Xbox Series X's and PS5s available for $500 is because they are working directly with AMD to manufacture chips that can be that powerful, and you know what I mean? It's just
I agree. I just think that Nintendo has a different mindset. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have to change that mindset for
very
sure,
soon. Very very soon. Too many people are getting hip to how how technology works, especially whenever it comes to graphics and things like that.
Absolutely.
Even people who don't really game hardcore, they understand what a powerful system is. And then you got a Switch still running 720p. And then it's really upsetting. 30 frames, maybe.
That's honestly one of my favorite things about the PS5 is I feel like the controller really embraces that Nintendo spirit of just feeling new and crazy. I don't know. I haven't played a game yet where the controller hasn't made it super interesting. Every little tap and raindrop falling and you hear it and feel it. I don't know. It's cool.
Oh yeah, it's the Nintendo game that I wish was on Switch, the whatchamacallit, the robot game on there.
Oh yeah. That game is really good.
It's really fucking good. What's up, Drive By Joe?
Drive By Joe.
Drive By Joe.
Driving by.
But yeah, so that's the biggest news there is that, and then I figured it was good to get that out of the way, and
really interesting
the elephant
stuff
in the ring. But yeah, you got anything interesting over there?
Yeah, let's see. A lot of stuff about that we'll cycle back to, but let's see. I'm just gonna go in order of what I got it written down. Ahead of the game's launch in February, Techland has now clarified further key details on Dying Light 2's release, including how to upgrade from one console to another, crossplay support, and co-op information. Starting with the upgrade pass, everyone who buys Dying Light 2 on PS4 can upgrade to the PS5 edition at no extra cost. Additionally, Dying Light 2 supports Microsoft's Smart Delivery program, which means those who buy the game on Xbox One get it on Series X and S for nothing extra. In news that is less good, Techland announced that cross-platform and cross-generation co-op play is not supported at launch on consoles, which honestly I didn't even know there was co-op, so that's just a bonus for me.
That's interesting.
I don't even give a shit. That should be a lot of fun playing that in co-op. Let's see. Oh, and they plan to support Dying Light 2 for 5 years down the road, so fans can expect a lot of new content and exciting expansions.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I think that's going to be a sleeper hit. I really don't feel like it's getting enough hype right now. It's just like the first one, I feel like the first one was one of the best games of our time and nobody talks about it ever.
They are delaying the Switch version of it though.
Yes,
by the way.
They sure are delaying the Switch version.
Which they did with the
seems to happen a lot with Switch versions of
I wonder
stuff.
why. But okay, apparently Halo Infinite's multiplayer will let players earn credits in its Season 2 Battle Pass that they will be able to use in the in-game shop to buy items, cosmetics, and even a new Battle Pass. Shared by 343 Industries head of design Jerry Hook, and following continued feedback from the community, 343 has decided to make it so credits will be earnable in Halo Infinite's next Battle Pass, which will begin after Season 1 comes to a close in May.
I saw this meme. It was like, y'all bought so many damn cat ears. Microsoft bought Activision.
Dude, there's so many fucking funny memes out there right now about that shit. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. They're taking after the Call of Duty, thing where you can earn credits as long as you're leveling up your battle pass, and then Then you don't have to buy the next battle pass. Then you just spend your credits you earned on it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like Fortnite started that though.
Did Fortnite start that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like they like way back in the day.
Yeah, I just wasn't there for that. I just know like the Call of Duty shit.
I do respect that though. It's like a reward for being a consistent player. You know, like if you buy it once and you really play the fucking game, you know, like you basically only have to buy it once.
That's how it is with Warzone. We're in like season 6 or some shit, and I've only bought one battle pass, and I've had every single season battle pass.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I never stop.
Respect.
Never stopping. Never
never stop.
Never stop. Never stopping.
Okay. Last year's holiday season saw more than double the hardware and accessory sales for VR and AR devices compared to the previous year, and it's expected they'll continue to be big sellers in 2022. The NPD group reported that during the 5-week period during 2021, going from November 21st to December 25th, VR and AR hardware sales, in addition to accessories, were up 180% in unit sales and 153% in dollar sales compared to 2020.
Nice.
Sales for the full year were also up more than double in both categories, though the growth was not quite as high as it was during the holiday period. According to NPD's executive director and technology analyst Ben Arnold, the continued shortage of Xbox Series X and PS5 consoles may have contributed to VR's dominance. And, you know, I've noticed this. I've seen a lot of people online that I wouldn't expect to get a VR headset, like, showing off their new VR on Facebook or something, you know, which I think is really cool. I've been expecting this. I mean, if you've been a long-time listener to the show, you know I've been, like, fucking going off about VR since the fucking PlayStation VR way back in the day, you know what I mean?
Since the early days.
Yeah.
Though, you know, like, going up 180% in sales on VR, like it's great for VR, but it's probably not as like that impressive of an amount of sales. Like if you think about it with how
what's crazy is it's going up from 2020, which was already a big year for VR. You know?
Okay.
So like, you know, 2020 blew up, and then 2021 we doubled that. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, that's pretty impressive to me. But I think Facebook has a lot to do with that, you know, especially with this whole metaverse shit coming out, you know what I mean?
NFTs and like everybody getting hyped about wasting their money on fucking shit that can get screenshotted. But, you know, we're going
You know, I still haven't watched Ready Player One. That's on my
I've tried to start it like 3 times, and then I'm like, this feels like I've seen this before or something.
It seems like something I would be into, but I just haven't taken the time. You know what I did watch this weekend, though?
What's that?
I watched the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
How was that?
I really enjoyed them. Because, like, okay, so I bought the Guardians of the Galaxy game on Amazon for, like, $5 because I had a gift card or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know.
I heard it was great.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I saw Adam Sessler give it a, like, glowing review, so I was like, I'll buy it. But I don't know shit about Guardians of the Galaxy, so I, like, have Disney Plus. I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch the movie. Why not? So I ended up really, really enjoying the first movie, and I, like, almost immediately watched the second movie. And I don't know, they're just really good. I feel like they're a lot better than a lot of the other Marvel movies. They don't really feel like a Marvel movie. It feels more like a Star Wars movie or something,
like
almost.
Indie,
like
offshoot thing.
Like a goofy Star Wars movie, but it was really enjoyable. Like, I don't know. And yeah, I like both of them a lot. So
hell yeah. So I know we were speaking on. Wait, did you? You just went right.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, we were speaking on like how Xbox is going to try and become the Netflix of gaming. Well, Netflix has some words. Netflix is aiming to have the quote-unquote absolute best gaming service in the industry as it looks to expand its array of playable titles in 2022. During a recent earnings interview, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings was asked about how the company will approach interactive content over the long term. His answer was simple, quote, "We have to be differentially great at it. There's no point of just being in it," said Hastings during the interview. Hastings effectively pointed to the idea of Netflix becoming a gaming service that's competitive with the current industry heavyweights. Quote, "We're definitely crawl, walk, run, and let's nail the thing and not just be in it for the sake of being in it for a press release. But we've got to please our members by having the absolute best in the category." Hastings finished bullishly, asking the interviewer to ask the question again, when Netflix was winning games. What does that even mean? Winning games? But anyways.
So I think what he means by all of this, like, it sounds like he's trying to, like, come at Game Pass with all this.
Exactly.
But I really think he's directly, like, inferencing, like, Apple Play and stuff like that, because they're more competitors in the mobile game market.
That's
like,
what I would think. Like, they do have mobile games on their platform.
Yeah, and their Netflix gaming is directly, like, a mobile game thing. Like, it's for Android.
They're not
like,
gonna have, like, fucking, BioShock,
Yeah.
like, whatever this new BioShock is. And
So
all
I
that
think
shit.
what he's really trying to say is, like, we're gonna be as good as the heavyweights that are Apple and, whatever fucking Google's doing over on the Android side of things. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I hope that.
I don't think he expects to just
try and roll up on
smoke
Sony and
fucking
Xbox.
Phil,
Yeah, ain't gonna happen. But yeah. By the way, I think it was Devin that posted this meme, but it was funny. It's like the Xbox on Twitter was like, Game Pass will be coming to PlayStation, and Sony like responds like, wait, we didn't authorize this. Who cleared this? And then Xbox is like, boy, shut your goofy ass up before we buy you broke ass. Also, we doing what we want.
That's fucking funny.
I just imagine like Xbox just like rolling up on all these different places
Like
and just
Devo,
like buying
just
them,
fucking-
like just like throwing money out the window, like hop in, bitch. Like, I'm excited to see what this does, but
future.
the future.
Okay, Sony has responded to Microsoft's blockbuster proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard, a deal that sent shockwaves through the industry and one that could hurt the PlayStation company. One of the biggest questions going forward was, should Microsoft's deal go through is whether or not games like Call of Duty will become Xbox exclusive or stay on all platforms. A spokesperson for Sony told the Wall Street Journal, "We expect Microsoft will abide by contractual agreements and continue to ensure Activision games are multi-platform." Activision recently published the prospectus of its deal with Microsoft, and there are multiple sections pertaining to what happens with regards to existing partner agreements. You can see the full breakdown of these, but the quick takeaway is that Activision Blizzard said it will honor all existing commitments when the deal closes. As with Microsoft's acquisition of Minecraft, we have no intent to remove any content from any platforms where it exists today, the company said. So, like, obviously they're not going to go, like, strip games from the store or anything that are already there. And I think, you'll probably be safe for the next few years as far as, like, because I'm sure they have some kind of contract in place that secures it for several years. You know what I mean?
But I would guarantee you, after that contract ends, that shit's, like.
This actually kind of gets me excited because, like, I kind of hope Call of Duty becomes an Xbox exclusive, and I'll tell you why.
Because they need that shit.
Well, yes, definitely Xbox needs it bad. But I think also it would force PlayStation to make another game like Killzone or something. Yeah, they would have to come up with their own like shooter that doesn't suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could compete. And I think they would. I think they would be forced to, and I think it would be great, and we'd have a whole nother like dope shooter on the market. That could, you know what I mean?
Well, I absolutely fucking guarantee you that Call of Duty will not be a multi-platform after the contract's in, and the reason why is because of $70 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah,
they
no
can't.
doubt. I was like, they gotta get their fucking money's worth, dude. Everything that can be exclusive will be exclusive. You know what I mean?
And like, if they do continue to put it on PlayStation, it'll come out like the year after the game drops. Like they'll be like, here's the new Call of Duty, and get it next year.
They'll drop it the same time they drop the PC version of all their shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so they can bank on like making a little bit more money after the game has sold what it's gonna sell. And then not only but I mean it's gonna come day one to PC as well. It'll just be PlayStation will be like the new PC for Call of Duty basically, but or not new PC but like that type of situation. But the thing about what the fuck were you just talking about? You're talking about them
Sony making their own version?
Yes, yeah. Like Xbox now has Halo and Call of Duty. They're like the top shooters that exist at this point. So I mean, but you have like
see, that's the thing. I think the
Fortnite
industry. I
and shit
think
like
this
that.
is all really good for the industry because I think the
gonna force
executives
it.
at Sony and Microsoft have gotten a little too comfortable with like the existing infrastructure of the. You know, like we used to have games like fucking SOCOM and like Killzone and like PlayStation used to make shooters because it was necessary. You know what I mean? Like, and they were good. They were really good. Like, a lot of people really love those games. Like, at the time, SOCOM was, like, top of the top, you know? Like, nobody was beating SOCOM when it was out, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's not unreasonable to think that they could make their own, like, dope shooter, and they're gonna have to. I don't know. I'm excited to see what Sony does, like, you know? I just feel like Sony's gonna backed into a corner, and I feel like a lot of times, like when you're backed into the corner, that's whenever you perform the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You like reach your final form,
yes,
you know, because you
dude.
got to survive. No, I'm excited to see what kind of shooter they do because they'll have to. They won't have any shooters at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were kind of relying on Call of Duty every year being a multi-platform, and then they would do like a, you know, like a timed exclusive thing.
Exclusivity deal, yeah.
So now it's like, you know, they're kind of fucked on that. They have to come out with a shooter.
You know what I think would be smart would be for them to buy Bungie, you know, and do like a Destiny,
or just keep Destiny for
as an
PlayStation.
exclusive. You know, I think that would be smart.
That would be really smart.
Because people like Destiny, and I think you could make it like a thing where if you just have a PlayStation, because Destiny's free to play right now, you know. So it's like, oh, if you just have a PlayStation Plus, you can play all the Destiny you want. You know what I mean?
It's already on Game Pass though.
Yeah, but they could fucking
swipe
you know,
it. Yeah,
if they had to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Though I don't know if Bungie is like has any type of loyalty towards Xbox because
they
of,
got
like,
a loyalty towards that money, dog.
No, I'm sure they
I
do.
think whoever comes at them with $70 billion. No, I'm just kidding.
70 bill, dude.
They come out with 70 bill.
They ain't worth that much.
No, definitely.
No, but
they're not even worth $1 bill, probably. To be honest.
I'm sure
with
they're
you.
worth a bill.
You think?
At least one bill.
I don't know, man. I really think your only thing you're getting from them is Destiny. You know?
That's true.
I think if you were
they don't even own Halo or anything.
I think if you came at them with a cool $500 million.
A cool $500. They're just begging for change. No, I know there was like rumors last year that Microsoft was going to buy Bungie, and I think that's because they were still with Activision Blizzard, and so people were getting that mixed up. They left Activision Blizzard like literally right before this acquisition became like known. You know what I'm saying? I wonder, like, can you imagine if they would have got a fucking Bungie as well?
Man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyways, wait, is it me or is it you?
Oh, it don't matter. Let's see what else we got here.
I think it's me because you were just talking about the Sony getting the shooter things.
Yeah.
Okay. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is coming to Nintendo Switch Online next month, like the expansion pass thing or whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like I want to be hyped, but it's like, bro, you could just fucking play this on your computer.
Dude, yeah.
And it'll be a better fucking ROM. Like,
if you got a 3DS, you could play it on your 3DS, and it'd be better.
They need to just remaster this game. Like, they need to remake it. Actually, just fucking remake the game. Like how they did
for sure.
Like with what was it with the one where they made it like toy looking and stuff. A Link to the not A Link to the Past. What was? Yeah, it was. Was it A Link to the Past? The one that
yes, it was A Link to the Past.
Whatever the DS.
No, Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. And I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, that was great.
Like, do something like that. Like, change the art style up, bring the game to the future. That you don't have to make it all cartoony and shit, but like make it like a really cool art design that like nobody would expect, and then fucking give us Majora's Mask again.
Yeah, or maybe bundle Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time into like one package somehow and give you like both games remade. That would be sick.
Yeah,
you know,
like
what I mean?
remade in like the Breath of the Wild engine or something. Like,
yeah, or even better. Like you could even, I think it would be better to like go less cartoony than Breath of the Wild.
Go Twilight Princess.
Yeah, more Twilight Princess.
That would be cool.
I think that would be sick.
And it'd be super. I can't say it'd be super easy to do. Like. But they should.
It definitely wouldn't be like the hardest project that's ever done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be like making a fucking GameCube game.
My boys at Blue Point would fucking smash that shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, that would be nice. Please do it. Nintendo. Quit giving us these fucking shitty ROMs for $50 a year.
Okay, I won't read this whole article, but apparently Sony's stock has fallen by as much as 13% after the Activision deal was made public, wiping $20 billion off of Sony's valuation in the most recent earnings call. It said the last time that something like this happened was when the company recalled 100,000 laptop batteries due to potential fire hazard issues. So,
damn.
But they bounced back from that, you know.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. I mean, they're gonna bounce back. It's
I'm
not
sure
like
as soon as they do their next like little press conference and announce some shit, you know what I mean?
it'll be boosted.
It'll be boosted.
And what's up, Cody Goldsby?
Yo.
I should have known it was you whenever you were just like correcting us on the Zelda. But no, I think the dip in like, you know, the stock and all that shit, that's gonna happen. Whenever your fucking main competitor pops up with like this great news, everybody starts to drop. Right now, honestly, it's probably the best time to buy some fucking
stock in Sony. Yes, dude, it's probably a great
buy the
time.
dip. Buy the dip.
Dude, that's actually a good point, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, before we get off the subject of the Xbox thing, I've got one more article about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it because like we've been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually just Bobby Kotick's letter to his team. I was originally getting this article because I just love ripping Bobby a new one, you know. But this is actually a super interesting like letter that he wrote to the like team, and I feel like it's got a lot of interesting implications to the like video game industry in the whole. So let me just read you this letter. I'm sorry, it's a little long. It said, "Team, today is an incredibly exciting day. As we continue our journey to connect and engage the world through epic entertainment, we will eventually do so as part of Microsoft. I am certain that our incredible talent and extraordinary games, combined with our shared commitment to the very best workplace, will enable us to grow in an increasingly more competitive race for leadership as gaming through the metaverse evolves." So they specifically say gaming through the metaverse evolves, which I think is interesting. How we got here and where we're going, when you reflect on what we've built together, we have so much to be proud of. For the last 31 years, we've continuously shaped gaming through our commitment to deliver joy, fun. Sorry, a lot of this is just filler bullshit, but some of it's really interesting. And the thrill of accomplishment. We've transformed games into social experiences and enabled players to find purpose and meaning through the most engaging form of entertainment, our games. By doing so, we've created and entertained communities of hundreds and millions of players. Connecting these communities together is the next step. Facebook, Google, Tencent, NetEase, Amazon, Apple, Sony, Disney, and many more have ambitions for their own gaming and metaverse initiatives. And established and emerging competitors will see opportunity for virtual worlds filled with professionally produced content, user-generated content, and rich social connections. Our talent and our games are important components of the construction of a rich metaverse. We have always attracted the very best game makers and built the very best games, seizing opportunities with passion, inspiration, focus, and determination. As a partnership to define the future, as investments in cloud computing, AI, machine learning, data analytics, and user interface and experience capabilities are becoming more competitive. We believe this partnership will better enable our ambitions. In considering possible partners, all roads ultimately led us to Microsoft. Like us, they have been making games for a long time. Microsoft has already distributed games to hundreds of millions, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Microsoft, so, like, they go on, but, like, they specifically talk about the metaverse a lot, and I thought it was really interesting. I don't know. Like, they make a point to talk about the conglomerate of different, like, corporations making strides towards the metaverse. I think we're a lot further towards the metaverse than we really realize. Like, I think we're gonna be in that shit soon. You know what I mean?
That's what I said on the predicting the metaverse. I think it's gonna be the next like 10 years. Like,
I mean, like Mark Zuckerberg said the next 10 years. I think like after all this that I'm seeing, like I'm thinking by 2025 we'll have some kind of prototype metaverse we're fucking with. You know what I mean? Like, I really think so.
Well, see, I think the reason why it's going to take 10 years is exactly what Mark Zuckerberg was talking about, is that, like, we have to have breakthroughs in, like, 6 or 7 different areas before we can actually create this metaverse. Maybe we'll have, like, the prototype, like you're saying, like a subpar
like the
version.
dial-up internet of the metaverse. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like, it'd still be the internet, though. You know what I mean? If you think about it, like dial-up was exciting as shit, and it didn't even really get good until like DSL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really liken the metaverse to like our next internet because it's a technology that most people don't really understand, I think, but it's gonna change the fucking game completely. You know what I mean?
Especially once they get like, you know, like really good tracking and all that shit. Like that's gonna matter the most. But it'll be exciting, and I really do think it's coming soon. And I think Xbox and Microsoft are gonna have a huge part in that. You know, even though they're not really saying what they mean by it, they're obviously focused on it.
Yeah.
Some big deal here. Season 2 of Squid Games has been confirmed by Netflix, so there will be a season 2 coming. But I just threw that out there. That's not really that big of news or video game news.
Still exciting.
Still exciting.
Yeah.
But you know, some more news on the Xbox acquisition. There are a lot of questions still left to be answered following Microsoft's announcement that it will acquire Activision Blizzard, but with everyone involved keeping details close to the chest, some details are beginning to emerge, including Phil Spencer's excitement to dive into Activision Blizzard's library of retired franchises. Speaking briefly with the Washington Post, Spencer avoided talking about the future of ongoing blockbuster franchises like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft under Microsoft. Instead, Spencer spoke about the overlooked franchises Activision owns that Microsoft will get access to. Quote, I was looking at the IP list. I mean, let's go, Spencer exclaimed. King's Quest, Guitar Hero. I should know this, but I think they got Hexen. So
that's actually really cool that he mentioned King's Quest. I hope King's Quest gets a little love. The most recent King's Quest iteration was really good, but they released it in like parts. It was like, you know how they do, like how that was a big thing for a while when Telltale was releasing their like segmented story games, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They did that with King's Quest, but like they released the first part and then it took like a year and a half before they released the second part, so nobody gave a shit about it anymore. But the most recent 5-part King's Quest game was actually really good if you're like a fan of the series. Like if you like point and clicks, you know?
Well, one thing they did post a picture of, like the day that they announced the acquisition was it had a picture of prototype.
That's neat.
Yeah, so I think Xbox is going to try and get their own Spider-Man out of the prototype. You know what I'm saying?
They need one.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing that Xbox really needs is like a sandbox game.
Yep.
You know? PlayStation's got shit tons of sandbox games. They've got too many sandbox games, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But imagine, you know, the first prototype games were made in the same engine as the Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man games or something like that.
Somebody was hating on Prototype the other day. I can't remember who, but I really love those prototypes.
It was probably me. I didn't like them, but I saw the potential in them. Like, I feel like they were kind of like undercooked, but they were cool. They had like awesome mechanics. It was like Infamous, but not. It was like close to it. And that's what I think this is going to be, is like they're going to bring back Prototype as like a Spider-Man / like Infamous exclusive, you know, because everybody's like, oh man, they got Spider-Man. And they're going to try and make that same situation, but Xbox and like, you know, their own IP, obviously. So that'll be interesting to see as well. But I do like that Phil Spencer is mentioning these other, you know, games and IPs that you don't think about that come with Activision. Like Guitar Hero would be a perfect game to bring back.
Man, I think if you're going to if you're Xbox, man, you might as well just break off some of those billions and fucking go over there and get a fucking real Marvel character to work with or something, you know what I mean? Or make a Superman game or something. Like, get a recognizable fucking
Nobody wants Superman.
Dude, bullshit. If they made a fucking sick Superman game, people would play the fuck out of it. Like,
maybe.
No question at all.
I feel like Superman's got a stigma, dude. Like, whenever it comes to video games.
That one Superman game sucked. Okay?
So did the next Superman game. Like, the one that they did for, what was that fucking...
For Xbox?
Yeah, that shit sucked. Then there was
I can't speak to those Superman games. All I can say is that if they made a game that, like had that fucking Suicide Squad type quality, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think the Suicide Squad is going to be the next Superman game.
Yeah, but he's the bad guy. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it
doesn't count. You know, I want to fly around. You know?
Yeah, so do I. But you can fly around in fucking Prototype. You know, like you can't fly like Superman, but you can fucking fly. You can like hop from helicopter to helicopter and shit.
Dude. I want a Superman game where you can like fly around the whole world. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be sick.
They just like put you in the fucking like Microsoft Flight Simulator world, but as Superman, and
that would be sick.
You can just land anywhere on the planet. And,
that should honestly just be like a thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like they should just add a Superman mod where you can just be Superman and fly around. Like that would be
I'm sure someone's done it. But the problem with an open world Superman game, especially one where you're not like taken over by like Brainiac or some shit, is that you can't hurt NPCs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now I guess you can't in Spider-Man either, but there's a bunch of dudes to like punch and stuff. With Superman, like you'd have to be fighting like giant like monkeys or like something like. It's just Superman doesn't just beat the shit out of people for no reason, you know what I'm saying? Like
Spider-Man is not just beating the shit out of people for no reason. They're
no,
committing crimes and stuff.
Yeah, but
you know?
but Superman's like a Boy Scout. Like he doesn't even beat the shit out of like the people committing crimes. He just kind of like picks them up and takes them places. Like he's like, "Oh, you're going to jail." You know, it's like I don't know. Like I feel like he's just not a fun character to like fuck around with. And
look,
that's
in our version, okay, like. The one, okay, so what I've noticed about the best superhero games is that they're not like directly tie-ins to like the movies. They're kind of like their own universe, you know, like the Arkham City games, you know, the fucking Insomniac Spider-Man games, the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Like they're all kind of like loosely based on the movies, but they're not, like they're set in their own little world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think maybe we could have a world where Superman isn't such a bitch and he's just beating the shit out of everybody, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe
Superman will always be a bitch, Brent.
Maybe all the bad guys in the city got like kryptonite bullets and shit, so he has to beat the shit out of everybody.
That would be cool.
Like maybe they all got kryptonite gloves, so it's not like he's just fighting a bunch of like weenies, you know what I mean?
What's up, Devin? Enjoying the ride in Arkansas, but yeah, I don't know. I say fuck getting Marvel or whatever or DC. It's fucking Microsoft. Like just make a good IP. They need to make their own good IP. That's
yeah, that should be the next goal for Microsoft.
Is like make an
shit. Original IP, not just like some reboot or rehash.
Yeah, make that. Well, I mean,
I think that's what Sony is doing right. Is like they still have original shit that's coming out. You know what I mean? Like
though it's original sequels like to shit they've already done.
Like Ghost of Tsushima, totally original. Days Gone, totally original. Fucking okay.
Days Gone got fucked though.
It did get fucked, but it was a great game, and it was a totally original game. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
They're not gonna put out a Days Gone 2, unfortunately. No. But it was still a really awesome game.
But I'm talking about going forward right now. We just got like Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever it's called. Then we got God of War. Right. Then we got it's continuing the same shit.
Well, I'm just saying those are all whenever they came out in the past, like all of those games except for The Last of Us came out PS4 era. You know what I mean? So it's like, and granted, God of War I guess is a little bit of a reboot, but it was like a
reboot. And that's what I'm saying is like Xbox. I mean, we're about to have that with Xbox whenever it comes to Perfect Dark and to fucking.
I forgot about Perfect Dark. That should be fun.
What's the fucking Bethesda one? Starfield.
More shooters, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
And Starfield, dude. Starfield's gonna be their next new IP.
Starfield's the one to be excited about if you're an Xbox guy. Yeah. I honestly think that is on it. That's like, that's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be original too. It's not Fallout. It's not Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. It's its own thing, you know. Yeah. So like, and then
but it's got that promise to have that kind of depth to it, which is super exciting. You know, just the concept of having another game with that layer of like, quality and just amount of shit to do, like that's just so exciting to me. Because I'll still play Fallout 4, I'll still play Skyrim, and I think almost like a lot of people still will. That's the reason they just released Skyrim again on PS5 and Xbox. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Oh, not to mention we're getting Redfall, whatever the fuck that is from the Deathloop people.
I don't give a shit what that is. I'm buying it, bro.
Yeah, just because of the team.
They have not fucking missed in the past like 4 games. Like fucking they put some good shit out, dude. Like it's always so high quality. Like fucking
it's hard like in your brain, or not in just yours but in mine, like everybody's, to be like, oh well, Xbox isn't coming up with cool original shit. And it's like, technically they are now, because these studios are Xbox now.
Yeah.
Like it's hard, like I still see them as like oh, that's Bethesda, but it's like Bethesda is Xbox now. It's like you got to wrap your brain around that bullshit, because once you do, then you realize it's the same as Sony having fucking whatever studio is putting out Ghost of Tsushima. It's not like the Sony guys sitting in there. It's literally a team that makes that game, you know, and those games. And the same with the fucking even the Days Gone game. You know, that was like a whole studio on its own. Like the guy who helped make it is like fucking pissed and shit.
Yeah, he's not even with the studio anymore.
No, he like dipped out. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like once they've been with Xbox for a couple years, then we'll start to like our brains will meld that together where it's like, oh, Bethesda Xbox. Like I still think of Bethesda as Bethesda even though they're with Xbox.
So I have a theory about all these Xbox acquisitions. I think over the next 10 years we're going to start seeing like, okay, so I think in 3 years or so, like, the dam will break and fucking games will just start spilling out of fucking, like, Microsoft games will be on the front of, like, almost every big game that comes out. Like, it will happen in the next, like, 4 years, 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? We'll start seeing, like, just this flood of games. But then I think looking further into the future, I think you're going to have, like, I think Xbox will eventually start selling the underperforming studios because they just have a massive amount of studios right now. And I think the ones that really prove their worth in the next, like, 6 years are going to stay on as, like, mainstay Xbox studios. And I think eventually they'll sell some of the fucking lesser performing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because there's just no, like, there's going to be too many games, maybe. You know, like, it's almost like, I don't know. Like
the only problem with that is that, like, they just now have about the same amount of studios as Sony. Like, they just reached, like, having the same amount of studios. It's not like they have, like, some amazing amount. They just have some expensive-ass studios.
I was going to say, it's not just the quantity, though, you know. It's the quality. Like, you're getting some really top-tier studios here, you know, with lots of experience and lots of, like, IPs and stuff. But you're right. People, it's not like Sony's just, like, out a horse in the race right now, you know what I mean?
They have like the same amount, like almost, I think it's like number for number, it's like they each have like 15 or 16 studios.
Yeah. And what this really does is even the playing field more than anything.
Makes it more competitive.
I mean? Yeah. Which I think is always good because competition, you know, I feel like if you don't have competition, both studios get lackadaisical, and then you have like just underperforming, like under-delivering, you know. I don't know. I think this is always good. Competition's always
definitely
good.
Like we were saying. Now Sony will make a shooter, and Xbox will have to make a Spider-Man game. You know, it's like it's going to be interesting to see them like come out with their own version of each thing. You know, like and see who does it better, or like if they both turn out good or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me see. What is this? It's annoying. Can't see. Okay. Now, this one is a blow at Sony right here, though. PlayStation creator Ken Kutaragi has said that he finds VR headsets annoying and that he can't see the point of the metaverse during a recent interview, which sounds like he's a little butthurt about Xbox talking metaverse. Speaking to Bloomberg, Kutaragi seemingly took aim at a number of technology companies that are currently ramping up their efforts to develop new virtual reality headsets in a bid to champion the metaverse. Quote, headsets would isolate you from the real world, and I can't agree with that, Kutaragi said while sharing his thoughts on VR headsets and why he isn't a fan of using them to tap into a potential metaverse. Quote, headsets are simply annoying. While Kutaragi's comments question whether or not VR headsets are the best way to enter the metaverse, the PlayStation inventor also criticized the ideas behind the concept more generally. Being in the real world is very important, but the metaverse is about making quasi-real in the virtual world, he said. I can't see the point of doing it. You would rather be a polished avatar instead of your real self? That's essentially no different from anonymous message board sites. I think that's the point.
Yeah, I don't think you're like replacing your real self with like a fucking virtual avatar. You're just going in a chat room for a second, you know? Like I don't
Yeah.
It's like if you have that big of a problem with just like the whole chat room concept,
that's like old people
like,
mindset. With the chat rooms, they're anonymous and scary, and like everybody's gonna try and find out where you live and kill you. You know, like it's like we're past that point now. That's how everybody meets. You know,
right,
literally everyone. And there's it seems like there's a lot less serial killers than our parents thought. You know, like Because like they just assume that everybody on a message board was trying to kill you, or like trying to assault you in some way. Like like you couldn't play Yahoo Pool without like your parents be like, "Who is this?"
There were some weirdos on Yahoo Pool,
there
though,
were.
in all fairness,
But they were probably like people our age, like just
being
trolling,
weird, yeah,
just trolling and shit. But a lot less murder happening than I thought like was gonna happen with like anonymous things like Reddit and stuff. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a little overblown. The guy who created PlayStation, but that dude's old. He's like 70 or some shit. So like,
yeah, he gets a pass.
Yeah, he's like, the internet.
Still, all the other Sony executives are probably, shut the fuck up, dude.
Like that's all we do is VR. Yeah,
we got one coming out, bro.
For real.
Hush.
But you got any more news?
No, I'm out.
Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Let me see what this is. Okay. Pokemon's still doing great, apparently. This is the last bit of news I got here is that 2021 was a great year to be a video game company, or at least it was if you had a big existing franchise to repackage and make tons of money off of. The surprising number of 2021's best-selling games were also best-selling games in 2020, and the rest were part of big beloved franchises like Pokemon, for instance. In fact, 2021 was huge for the Pokemon games. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, despite being remakes of games from 2006, were the third best-selling games in December and the fourth best-selling games the entire year in the U.S., according to the NPD Group. They were also the best-selling games on Nintendo consoles for both the entire month of December and for the full year. Specifically, a lot of people were buying physical copies of not just Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but other Pokemon games too, like new Pokemon Snap. In total, physical sales of Pokemon games in 2021 were the best they've been since 2000, when Pokemon Gold and Silver first came out in the U.S.
Wow.
That doesn't count for digital sales either this year, so that's insane.
That is kind of insane, especially considering like the Pokemon Go craze kind of died out, and like I feel like I don't know, it's surprising that I bet Arceus does really good, even if it's like not the best game ever,
Yeah, I think Arceus or Arceus, so however the fuck you say it, it's gonna do well. It'll be all right. I don't think it's gonna be like the best game ever, but I
think it'll financially do well.
Yeah. But that's it for the video game news this week. We're gonna jump into this week's releases, where I'm gonna let you know which brand new games you can get in the next 7 days. Starting with Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem, coming to PC on January 25th for $19.99. Lock and load as you make your way through the vast Russian landscapes, taking on new bosses, all in an effort to catch up with General Brand. Okay. Then we have the Artful Escape, coming to PS4, PS5, and Switch, January 25th for $19.99. The night before the first performance, Francis Vendetti embarks on a multi-dimensional journey to inspire his stage persona. Then we have Tannenberg, coming to PS5 on January 25th for $19.99. Warfare on the border of the Russian Empire is a tense battle for survival. Can your squad weather the storm of battle? Tannenberg offers 4 new squads, 20-plus weapons, and open maps that give players tactical freedom in online battles. And then we have Verdun coming to PS5 on January 25th for $34.99. Verdun is a squad-based massive multiplayer first-person shooter set in the First World War. Then we have Mortal Online 2 coming to PC on January 25th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but it's an MMO, so it might be free. I don't know. In the first-person MMORPG sequel, Mortal Online 2, explore a massive open sandbox world and choose your own path. But be aware, danger lurks around every corner in this full PvP, full loot world. And then we have Kingdom of the Dead, coming to PC on January 26th. Couldn't find a price, but Kingdom of the Dead is a horror FPS drawn in stark pen and ink graphics.
Huh.
You play as Agent Chamberlain, professor turned army general, now working for the secret government program known as Gatekeeper, whose main purpose is to defeat Death and his armies. And then we have Dragon Saddle Melee coming to PC on January 26th. Couldn't find a price, but fly your dragon against waves of enemy dragons and other players in the chaotic multiplayer classic arcade action of Dragon Saddle Melee. And then we have Please Touch the Artwork coming to PC and mobile on January 26th for $9.99. Part Zen puzzle, part narrative adventure. You'll explore the secret world behind iconic abstract paintings through over 150 puzzles, an aesthetic journey to the origins of modern art, set to a soothing, jazzy soundtrack. Then we have Kogan, Sword of Rewind, coming to Switch, Xbox One, Series S and X, PS4, and PC on January 27th for $19.99. Employ the perfect weapon to combat instant death with sword action like you've never felt before in Kogan, Sword of Rewind. We have Rugby 22, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S and X, and PC on January 27th for $39.99. Rugby 22 lets players lead their team in the 2021-22 rugby season with reworked AI, a new difficulty mode, and many national teams with the 21-22 player rosters. Then we have Vagante coming to Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S and X, January 27th for $14.99. Vagante is an action-packed platformer that features permanent death and procedurally generated levels. Okay. And then we got Wanderer coming to PC VR, January 27th. Couldn't find a price, but built from the ground up for VR. Wanderer has a unique blend of escape room-style puzzles, tactile hands-on interactions, and action arcade sequences to bring you the ultimate time travel adventure. And then we have Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous Avenger, 9-2, coming to Switch, Series S and X, PS4, PS5, and PC on January 27th for $39.99. Break into the new apex of 2D action. Copen and Lola are back, and Copen's high-speed action is more intense than ever. What new fates await them in a parallel world where only robots exist? Question mark. And then we have Pokemon Legends Arceus coming to Switch on January 28th for $59.99. Discover a story that takes place in the Sinnoh region long before the events of Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl in the open-world adventure of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then finally, we have Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection coming to PS5 January 28th for $49.99. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection is a remastered collection of two great games in the Uncharted saga, featuring Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Uncharted The Lost Legacy. And that's it for this week's releases. Not too much going on there, but Pokemon and Uncharted are a pretty big deal, I think. And that's about it. So we're going to jump on over to Currently Playing. Whew. Oh, man.
Oh, man, indeed.
Brent, what you been playing?
Well, let's see. I tried out that Rainbow Six game.
I tried that too.
The Extraction.
It's kind of trash.
Yeah, it's not that great.
No, it's.
I wanted to like it. The graphics are beautiful.
Mm.
It runs really well on my computer.
In 4K on the fucking Series X, dude, it looks beautiful. The game just sucks.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not. It's like too much Rainbow Six, not enough Back 4 Blood. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Also, it's like it takes away what makes Rainbow Six good, which is the multiplayer, like the PvP.
But it also takes away what makes Back 4 Blood good, which is like the brazen balls out action. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just like I don't know why they made it. Like I don't understand what it is, and like
it's weird. It just feels weird, like a stealth zombie game. Like I don't know.
It should have just been like an add-on to Rainbow Six Siege, and like where it's PvP and PvE, where like you have zombies and stuff. And you're trying to complete your objectives, but you're going against another team at the same time, just like in...
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah. It's just not good. Like, I play...
That's another problem is the enemies are kind of dumb feeling. Like, they're not... It's like you don't get that same sense of satisfaction, like, when you're fighting the AI as you do in the other Rainbow Six game.
Where you like, outsmart the fucking, like, other people.
Yeah, like, shooting a hole through a wall and killing a computer isn't as satisfying as shooting a hole in the wall and killing like some random person on the other team, you know?
Oh yeah, like, for sure. And then like you have these like little fucking things that you can like build like like barriers on the walls, and it's like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, doesn't fucking matter.
It does not matter. They just like explode through them like instantly.
Or like go around. There's
Yeah,
like
or
too
go
many
around.
windows to like block them all, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, and the enemies just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming until you like destroy the nest, and the nests are like so annoying to try and find and stuff. I don't know. It was just kind of
Really all I can say
lackluster.
about it is that it's got amazing graphics.
Very beautiful.
Really good graphics.
If only it was good. And it was very, very like unintuitive. Like everything about that game was so unintuitive. And then like you had to do this long ass fucking like tutorial at the beginning. So trash. Anyways.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of that. I played through Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which was really, really good. Like surprisingly good. Like I don't know. I expected it to kind of just be like a cute like platformer or something. You know, I haven't played a lot of Ratchet and Clank games. You know, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it was honestly like Psychonauts 2, but better. Like way, way better. Like double as good as Psychonauts 2 was, and Psychonauts 2 is maybe one of my favorite games last year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so polished, it's so beautiful. Like, graphically, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Like, just as far as like how good it looks. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like Insomniac's been killing it. Like, the Spider-Man games are really good. And Ratchet and Clank was really good. And, like, the graphics modes on all of them were really awesome. I don't know.
I think Ratchet and Clank was done by a different team at Insomnia. It wasn't, like, the same people doing Spider-Man.
Either way, like, they keep the hits coming over there.
Oh, for sure. I don't like that they didn't make the name, like, something, like, innuendo like they normally do.
Yeah, you know, I didn't like that at all. The fucking...
should be something like to do with like the butthole or something.
Something,
you know?
Yeah. I kept reading it, trying to like make it into some kind of sexual joke or something, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I think they just didn't want to like.
They should call it like a riff job or something. Like I don't know, like anything but like. I mean, not that it has to, but I mean,
but
like
all the other ones did.
Yeah, like,
yeah, it's like.
Is this a more serious? Like, we're taking this one serious now. Like, you know, we're getting away from our humor. Like, I don't know. I mean, the game's still a fucking like.
Well, it's still funny. I mean, it still has that like, you know, like I was laughing the whole game, and like the story is really good, and like the gameplay itself is awesome. Like, it's all around like just a really, really good game. Like,
yeah.
And it does the trigger thing really well. Like
the adaptive trigger.
Yeah, and like just all around uses the controller to like its maximum, you know, controllerness. I don't even know how to.
It looks good. It looks beautiful.
I played a little bit of Hades also. I can't stop playing fucking Hades, dude.
Apparently.
It's so good, bro. But yeah, I played a little more of that, and I played some Returnal, which is
kind of like Hades.
It's a little like Hades. It's not as fun as Hades. Not even close to as fun as Hades. But because I think Hades is like visually like a feast for my eyes. Like, not only is the gameplay loop addictive, but Hades is just really pretty to look at. You know?
Yeah,
like,
I thought Returnal was too.
Returnal's okay looking. Like, I have problems with the way Returnal looks. Like, mainly because the game is rendered at like 1440p. And like the TV itself is 4K, so you don't get that like satisfying like native resolution. You know what I mean? But it does look good. It's got a lot of cool particle effects and like ray tracing and stuff. But like I've gotten to the second boss and then gotten killed on the second boss, and that's as far as I've gotten so far. I'm enjoying it, but it's like, I don't know. It's not like my favorite game I've ever played. Like, a lot of people are like really obsessed with it.
I've heard a lot of people sour on it as time has gone on. Like, it's like right when it dropped, everybody was like, this game's fucking insane. Like, the more I see about it now, like that people have had time to get away from it. Like, I've seen a lot of people being like, it was good, but it wasn't like as good as everybody was making it out like at first.
To me, it's like a lot like that game Mortal Shell. Like, it's a really good game that kind of follows like the same really hard formula that a lot of other games do. But it's like, I don't know, it's just missing something for me. You know what I mean? But that's just me personally. I could definitely see how it could be on a lot of people's like top games, you know?
Yeah, it looks very niche.
Yeah, totally. And then I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It came in the mail. I watched the movies, and So far, the game is really good. Like, the story in the game is probably better than both of the movies that I watched, so far at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's more interesting. But, that's to be expected when you have, like, 50 hours to tell a fucking story as opposed to just one or two, you know what I mean?
And you're in it.
Yeah, and you're in it, making choices. That's another thing. Your choices are, like, affecting the story and stuff. Like, you'll make decisions that affect what happens in the actual game, and your team will get mad at you accordingly, kind of like Mass Effect style, you know what I mean?
Nice.
But the game is really funny, and the graphics are really good. My only problem with it is, like, so I've noticed that almost every PS5 game I play has a performance mode and a quality mode, right? And then like, I'd say maybe 80% of them also have like a ray tracing mode, which is like like just a different version of the quality mode. Yeah. So this game has ray tracing mode, performance mode, and quality mode. And, like, usually I go for performance mode as long as it's got a, like, decently high resolution and fucking, it performs at 60 frames per second. You know what I mean? That's, like, my stipulation. But, like, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy performance mode is at 1080p, just straight up fucking...
We ain't even trying.
They're not even trying. And it looks really, really bad. So, like, I've been playing with the quality mode, or actually I've been switching between the quality mode and the ray tracing mode because it's, like, on the quality mode, you can see, like, the granular fucking detail of, like, everything in the game. Like, there's, like, little cracks in the fucking cement and, like, little pores on their skin and shit. And you're like, damn, that's insane. But then the ray tracing mode, it's, like, every reflection, and there's a lot of them in the game, are, like, fucking realistically ray traced and reflected. So it's, like, you have to choose, like, do you want this, like, super fine detail on all your textures, or do you want, like a really cool ray tracing effect, you know what I mean? I don't know. I still haven't made up my mind, and I'm, like, way deep in the game. I keep jumping between the two, like.
Damn, sucks. There's not like a little bit of mix of it there.
Yeah, one thing I really respect about the Insomniac games is they have, like, all of them have a ray tracing performance mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. Like, it's like a balance at, like, 1440p, and then it's, like, 60 frames per second with ray tracing. And it's like, I wouldn't mind a ray tracing performance mode also on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they should just
But it's
do
like,
that
I don't think they
can
do that. Like, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy is capable of even, like, running at that, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's why they had to bump it down to 1080p. Like, I don't know. It's a really detailed game. Like, it's beautiful, you know? So I get it, but damn.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm having a lot of fun with it, though. I just hate playing in 30 frames per second. But
Damn,
I'm doing it,
30
but
frames,
I'm doing it
bro.
anyway.
How do you even see, dude?
It's weird, man. It's, like, weird when you've been playing 60 for a while and then you go back. It's like the first,
it's like glitchy almost.
The first, like, 30 minutes of playing like that, it's, like, jarring, you know?
Yeah.
But then after your brain kind of adjusts, it doesn't feel any, you know.
It's like watching a film from 1901, dude.
Yeah,
No,
kind of. It's weird.
Yeah. Anyways, so besides, getting several dubs and Caldera and Warzone.
Mini dubs.
Yeah, several dubs actually, and I finally corrected my KD after all this time. I finally reached my I'm above a 1 finally. Like, I started out and, like, just sucking ass, like, last year, and I was, like, at .56. I went all the way from .56 to above a 1 now, thankfully, and my average is, like, 3 kills, like, that's my average. Really, in my kills per game, I'm getting, like, at least, like, 6 or 7. Like, I'm doing good.
Ball out, bro.
Yeah, I'm catching up. But anyway, so, like, but playing that, played the fucking Rainbow Six Extraction, and then
that's another thing. Extraction's a dumbass name. They should have just gone with Quarantine.
Quarantine, and why is it aliens? Like, fucking, it should have been zombies.
Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
They were just like, no, people are gonna be afraid of COVID, and it's like, what does that even fucking mean? People aren't turning into zombies. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, and then I got God of War 2018 on PC.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
It looks beautiful, even though I'm playing in 1080.
That's still probably awesome.
Yeah, it looks like PS4, like probably a little bit better.
It looked
than
great
PS4.
on the PS4, and I was playing it in 1080. Probably worse than that, actually, thinking about it.
It was letting me play in like ultra settings, like, but then it was just kind of like the frames were dropping a little too much for me.
It probably still looks really good on like high or something.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. Is I dropped it down to high, and then eventually I was just like, I just really want like a lot of frames, so I just fucking put it on 1080, and it still looks phenomenal. It still looks like a PS4 Pro game.
Have you tried putting the AMD FSR on?
No,
that would definitely make a huge difference, bro. You could probably play at ultra settings.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
but it looks great. The story's cool so far. I'm kind of sidetracked on it. I haven't played in like 4 or 5 days because I was playing it like pretty heavily for like a day and a half, and then I got to the part where like you're out in the open water, you know, like kind of. Then I started doing all the side shit. Like I've already like killed a dragon, or not killed a dragon, but like freed a dragon, and like collected almost like all the little fucking things that you can collect and shit. And then like whenever I was like, oh shit, I guess I have to go back to the normal story mode, because they were like, we'll come back to this part. They're like, you know, we can't get, like, there's certain areas you can't get to. It's like a Metroidvania in a way. And like I did everything I could possibly do out in that open water. And then I was like, all right, I guess I'll go on with the next part. And I like went and saw the bitch on the turtle. And then or in the turtle. Wait,
I think she's in the turtle. Yeah.
Yeah. And so or on it, not in the turtle. Yeah. So like went and saw her, and then after that, I was like, okay, I'll come back to this, and then I have not gone back yet. But I will. I just needed a little break because I put so much time into the fucking side quest shit.
It'll pay off in the long run, though.
Oh, I'm sure. The game's great, and the combat is great. You know, like I noticed that they kind of force you to use little dude, I forget his name.
Atreus.
Atreus.
It kind of becomes second nature by the end of the game. You're like just hitting the button without even realizing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There's so much shit like I don't really like having to upgrade all my armor and shit. Like I kind of am just too dumb for it. Like I don't really understand what I'm doing. Like, and I don't want to waste like my fucking money and stuff because I got so much money.
So what's crazy is like some of those upgrades will make like an insane difference in like the way the gameplay is. Like they're like some of them will give you like moves that are like, you know, like the laser beam thing that you can do with your axe or whatever. Like, and it just completely changes like the whole dynamic of the combat, like depending on what you have equipped and stuff.
And that's why I don't want to do anything with it. Like I'm kind of at a standstill because like I don't want to pick the wrong thing.
You'll end up getting enough shit like throughout the course of like the game to where you can kind of experiment. You know what I mean? Like you'll definitely get enough like XP and stuff to like try different things. You won't have to like worry about like, you know, specking wrong or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have like a lot of cool like shit like or like cool attacks that I've like upgraded and stuff, and like, you know, have like as part of like a certain armor and stuff like that. But you know, there's just too much going on mentally. Like this is why I don't like Skyrim and shit. Like my brain just gets fucking flustered, and I'm like, dude, I can't sit here and read through all this and then like get on the internet and search everything, and like my brain just can't handle it. I'll go back to it though, and I'll just probably just pick something without even reading it and just play through the game because I just want to see the story. But like I didn't expect it to be as like deep, you know, like whenever it came to the RPG aspects and stuff like that. Like that really threw me for a loop because I thought it was going to be like a straightforward like Uncharted type situation where it's, you know, but it's a lot like Uncharted in the way that it feels very Sony, but it's not. It's way more in depth. But anyway, so I played that. It's great so far. And then that's about all I played really is those games. But we're going to jump on over. And if you want to let us know what you've been playing, you can drop it in the live feed, or you can drop it on our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak and we'll talk with you about it there. Or you can hop in Discord, dsc.gg/GameSpeak and then we got our topic of the show today, which is game franchises that need a kart racer. Yeah, like a Mario Kart, if you don't get or like a Chocobo Racing, you know what I'm saying? Like those types of games that already exist, but like for other franchises. All right, so let's start this off. I got 5 of them. I got 5.
So I got like 4 and like 1 that doesn't really fit the description, but I'm doing it anyway because just fuck it.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck it. Yeah, all right. Let's do it. So you can go first since you got one that doesn't really fit. Do the one that doesn't fit the descript.
Okay, so the one that doesn't fit the description just isn't a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but I couldn't not do it because it just makes too much sense, you know? What if you got, like, every TV show, right, that's about, like, a group of friends, and then you made it into a kart racer? Like, you get, like, Seinfeld and How I Met Your Mother and, like, The Big Bang Theory and fucking...
It's like sitcoms.
Yeah, like, but not just sitcoms. Sitcoms that are specifically based on, like, groups of friends, like Cheers or something. You know what I mean?
It's just called Sit Kart.
Yeah, sit carts, bro. And it's just fucking sitcom.
Yeah, you got
people.
like Big Bang Theory.
Malcolm in the Middle. No, I guess he's not a friend group sitcom, but it could work. We could
Yeah,
just
there's
say
enough
fuck it. We're just
characters.
doing all sitcoms now. Fuck it.
Fucking Breaking Bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Ray Romano.
That could definitely work. That's one like the topic for next week. That's what I kind of want to do is like.
Oh my god. Okay, just pretend I didn't say that.
No, but
this
like,
is next week
no,
too.
next week's topic is like gonna be like TV shows that need like a Super Smash Bros. Style like game. You know, like taking all the characters. We'll talk about it next week. But
I got some good ones.
yeah. Okay, so my first one is obviously we got Pokemon. Pokemon could easily be a kart racer.
Yeah, dude, that makes so much sense.
Now, it would be cool though if the tracks, well, like, okay, all the tracks would be amazing first off, because you'd have like, the different towns or whatever, and like you could have one where you're like in the Pokemon Stadium, like fucking driving around, like
you could do one that's just the first level of Pokemon Snap, like for the N64, like recreated into like a track. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah! And so you got all these Pokemon everywhere. Then you could add some kind of like capture mechanic to like it. That's kind of like a side thing where like you can use it to get like new parts for your car or whatever. Like
or what if you're
stuff.
not Pokemon racing? You're like trainers.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And like instead of picking up fucking like power ups, you picking up Pokeballs and like throwing them at each other.
Yeah.
See, my original vision when you said this was like a bunch of Starmies and Abras and stuff all in their own parts, which actually could be cool.
It could be cool.
It could be
but
cool.
I say only Pokemon with arms and legs can drive the go-karts. So you got Mr. Mime and shit
That's
like
real. All the anthropomorphic Pokemon
can drive.
Drive. Yeah.
But like for the main part for the most part you're just trainers or like fucking what's her Officer Ginny, what
Nurse Joy.
Nurse Joy. Yeah, so you're playing as characters like that, Ash, Misty, all the fucking new people or whatever in the new
Team
anime.
Rocket,
and you're just driving around and you can capture, like you'll see like Pokeballs just floating in the air and like instead of like the dice blocks, and then you get the Pokemon, and, like each one has like its own like special effect or whatever that it does. I think that could be really tight.
That could be really tight.
Yeah. What you got, Brent?
All right, so my next one is Persona.
Ooh.
I feel like if you took all the characters from the Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5, probably throw a couple in from 1 and 2 just to keep people, happy.
Yeah.
But, like, you take all the Persona characters, you got a big cast of, like, fun characters you could do a kart racer with, Like, you got the cat character from 5, Morgana, you got Teddy from 4, who's, like, a big, weird teddy bear thing, So you got, like, goofy characters, and then you got, like, cool anime characters. It could be a lot of fun,
yeah, and I feel like it sounds like something that would happen, like where we're like, oh, dude, is fucking Persona finally coming to Switch? And it's like, no, it's fucking
Persona Kart Racers.
Persona Kart. Yeah. Okay, so my next one is Borderlands. Because
okay, I could see that.
Yeah, Borderlands would be easy to do as a kart racer because you can make it like over the top cartoony where they have like big heads and shit. And then, like, you have, like, the different vehicles from the game, And
you have, like, different, like
landscapes.
Like, characters in the game that like, cars and stuff. So you could have, like, Scooter be the fucking race master or something.
And the big chick. Yeah. And then, so you got, like, the big chick, you got him, and then you got Tina, or Tiny Tina, and, like, all the different characters.
Handsome Jack. There's a lot of characters you could do.
then you could almost give it like, and with that one, you wouldn't have to do like pick up like specific like, oh, I picked up an item or whatever. Each character has like their own like loadout basically.
Or you could do like cell damage, where each character has like a base weapon, but then you run over like pickups, like item pickups, and like.
Definitely. No, that's a good idea too. I like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
All right. What's your next one?
My next one seems obvious because it's so adorable and cute, But Animal Crossing.
Definitely Animal Crossing.
Like, why not? Like, just have some adorable. There's tons of characters, and like, you could put a cute little world together real easy.
Oh yeah, and I think like all of it would have to be in like an Animal Crossing looking world. Like, you couldn't just have like everything look like different.
It'd be sweet if it was just DLC for Animal Crossing, and you could like make your
you
fucking
could race online.
Yes, dude.
Gives it like a fun like competitive like like something to do. Like
you could put all your trophies in a house on your island. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's smart. That's actually really smart. Okay, so my next one is Halo. Just because there's so many great vehicles that could be turned into carts.
I was thinking that, you could have like ghosts and like warthogs racing head to head. You know what I mean?
But like shrink them down into cart size.
Like a fun size.
Yeah,
have like a goofy looking arbiter that's just like sitting in the ghost.
It grunts and stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to do because you could do like a Diddy Kong racing style thing because you have like the fucking banshees and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And so like you could have certain parts of the race where like either certain parts of the race where you're in a different vehicle, or you can just choose outright from the beginning, like I want a flying vehicle versus like a warthog or whatever, and then you go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get a tank and it's like slower than everything else, but it's got a fucking bazooka on it. So
Yeah. And you could like turn it around and shoot behind you, and it like gives you a boost.
Like
and
Grand
stuff.
Theft Auto. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be tight. All right, what's your next one?
All right, so my next one is kind of a weird one. Like, what if you took all the scary games like Silent Hill and BioShock and Outlast and Resident Evil and made like a creepy kart racer?
I like that.
Where it's just like scary shit, like Dead by Daylight kind of, but
it's just spelt with a K. Creepy carts.
Creepy carts, yes. And you could have cool like scary environments to go through where shit's like popping out at you as you like drive by it, or like breaking the track.
Or, like, because if they have like the different like IPs and stuff like that, you have like a Silent Hill fucking
imagine
track
a Silent Hill track. That would be cool. The walls are changing as you drive by, and like nurses are in the middle of the like
instead of fucking the little gophers or whatever from Mars. You just get fucking smacked by a nurse. No, that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
And Rapture, that would be a cool level, like riding through all the watery tunnels and shit.
Dude, that'd be insane. Rapture's a good one. So my second to last one is just fuck it. Star Fox, bring it back as a racer. Why are we trying to keep it as this like thing that nobody wants to play? Nobody wants to play. I'm sorry, but Star Fox, the whole mechanic of Star Fox it's old.
Super outdated.
It's outdated.
It's like a mini game that's in a modern game. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just have the mini game be the whole game.
The whole thing.
Like, literally, there's a segment of Guardians of the Galaxy that's just like Star Fox, and it's like dope for the little like 2-minute segment of the game, but it's like it would get old really fast if that was the whole game,
Yeah, let's be smart about it. Let's bring Star Fox back as a racer, and like you just have like your Y-wing and all that shit.
I love that.
Or, what is it? Is it a Y?
Yeah, Y-wings are in
Star
Wars. Yeah.
X-wing.
No, X-wings are in Star Wars.
What the fuck are they?
They're both in Star Wars.
R-wing?
R-wing. That sounds right.
I don't
know.
I don't know. But like, let's make that into a racer. You got Slippy. You got the fucking Pip. What's his name? Fucking the rabbit. I forget his name.
Yeah.
You got all the different characters from Star Fox. And then like you could
Peppy, right?
Peppy. That's what it. Peppy. Did I say Pippy?
Peppy. You said Pip. Yeah.
Yeah. You got Peppy. No. Peppy is the rabbit, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
There's Slippy,
Peppy, and then
Falco.
Yeah. And then so like, but you could also bring back fucking what's F-Zero at the same time. Do Star
like a Worlds Collide kind of thing.
Star F-Zero, like Star F-Zero, like for Fox. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in there, and then like you just kind of combine the game into one racer where you have like fucking space races as well as like your typical F-Zero shit.
Yeah, and you can keep it super fast paced like F-Zero.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that'd be sick.
But anyways,
okay, so my next one would be Overwatch Kart. Take all your heroes from the fucking Overwatch game, give them like their hero ability or whatever, and just make like a hero shooter racer. You know,
that would be a very good idea because of the classes or whatever. Like it could make it focused on that.
Everybody would have their own thing, you know.
I'm surprised they haven't made like a esports like kart racer yet. Like we need something in esports where it's just a kart racer that's highly focused on skill and like having a certain class. You know, and you know, it's like, oh, I main this fucking kart or whatever in this character,
for real,
and I'm just really good with it. But no, that's a good one. Last one for me is Minecraft, and this could be like Lego racers, like where you build your own kart. You know, like
you can build your own track and stuff too.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And so like, and then you can like design your kart for the track that you built, and then fucking just go at it. You know?
You could do it like Mario Maker, where you like play tracks online that other people built.
Yep.
Like there'd be some freaking crazy tracks.
Oh
man,
yeah,
you know,
it like just not intuitive, but like ingenious tracks that people would build.
Oh, you already know. Like people would be making all the stuff we were just talking about, like just Minecraft blocky version, you know.
And that's like I miss the fuck out of Lego racers, you know. So like I feel like that would be a perfect way to bring back that type of game style, but like for today, and kids would love it because they know Minecraft, you know.
Yeah, kids love that Minecraft, man.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, well, that's what I got.
All right, that's all I got, too. So if you guys got any cool kart racer ideas for game IPs that already exist, then, you know, drop it in the Facebook group for us. We're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, I know you asked for some questions.
Yes, I asked a little late in the day, so
I think we got some,
We got some? Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, look at there. We sure did.
Oi.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thanks for the questions, everybody. Let's see.
Brent's got to pick one. So while he's picking one, I do want to say, guys, fucking get on that Demon Slayer if you're not watching Demon Slayer. I'm enjoying the shit out of that right now. It brought literal tears to my eyes. I just want to say, like, it's hard to do that for me. Like, I don't tear up. I'm like that dude in fucking Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't make me you know, cry a tear. But that show, like there's no stopping it, dude. Like after dude, I don't know. You said you only watched one episode.
Yeah.
Once you get to like fucking the more currency or watch Mugen Train, just fucking watch Mugen Train arc, which it's all on Funimation right now. And they have like free trials on Funimation if you want to watch it, and it's got like the dubbed or subbed. It's whatever. But fucking knock it out. Anyways.
I'll have to check that out. Okay, so we got Brian Moctezuma here. He says,
my boy,
if you could only play one video game franchise for the rest of your life, which would it be? So he said franchise. I didn't really read that. The second time I read this, I'm like, okay, franchise. So it's not just one game.
Which I'm fine with, you know.
Yeah. Like, if it was just one game, I might pick, like, Hades or something, because I just infinitely replayable and fun, you know?
Yeah.
But if it's like a whole franchise, you know, you got to pick something that you know isn't going to die anytime soon. You know what I mean?
It's kind of tough to say with, like, a whole franchise. You need something that, one, that's not going to die anytime soon, but two, something that, like, has a broad variety of different like gameplay styles across like different games like in the franchise.
I think I would go with Grand Theft Auto.
You kind of have to because it's
like a first-person shooter and a third-person shooter and a sandbox game, and it's got like
good
tennis.
Story.
It's got fucking like other sports that you can play in the game. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot you can do, and it's got an online social aspect to the game. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, okay, so you got Grand Theft Auto. I probably would do the same. Like, just even though Grand Theft Auto is not really like my favorite or anything, it's like it's just the most like it's the safest answer. Like, you know,
the most content you're gonna get for if you only pick one franchise. You know, I don't know.
Though then again,
Call of Duty, you get a new game every year at least.
Yeah, I was about to say Call of Duty just because I'd be playing Warzone like way more than I should. So probably Warzone. Like, it never gets old to me for some reason.
Yeah, you know, the UFC games never get old to me, but it's like I would want something else eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna say Warzone.
It's a tough
Call
question.
of Duty.
You know, Call of Duty would definitely be a good answer. That's a respectable answer right there.
Is it respectable? No, but it works for me.
Okay.
All right, Brian.
We got Stephen Blaine Patterson here. He says, y'all talk about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard yet?
We talked way too much about it.
Yes, we did. We got Stephen Blaine Patterson again. He says, I don't think anyone here follows Call of Duty League. If so, how bad the league is this year with Vanguard being a bad game? How bad is this year? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow, so.
Yeah, I don't follow, like, anything, like, whenever it comes to, like, esports, unfortunately. I did it for a little while with League of Legends, but then never again for anything else, so.
Yeah, I just don't have enough time, you know? Like, between playing video games myself and watching, like, other things, like, on TV, it's like I just don't, you know, my free time is already paper thin, you know?
I think I do have the time. I just don't find it, like interesting to watch other people play a game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
As like boomer as that sounds, like I just like, it's hard for me to watch somebody play a game because every time I do, I'm like, oh, I want to play this game, and then I just go away and play the game.
It depends on the game. Like, I have watched a few. Like, I watched like Markiplier play like Outlast. You know, I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know why I watched it. You know,
that's
but
a little different though, because you're kind of like trying to figure out if the game's good.
Exactly,
and, like,
it's not like a
play
competitive thing. Like, I was just enjoying his commentary and the game itself. Like, you know, like I don't really care about like who's the next big star and the, you know, like I don't know.
Also, yeah, it's just like it makes you feel bad whenever you watch somebody play and like just fucking outclass you on every level. And then you're like, damn, that sucks. I'm going to go play some to get better. You know, like that's just how my brain works. Like, yeah. But yeah, so sorry, I don't keep up with that.
Okay, we got Aaron Jones here. He says, if you were PlayStation, what would be your move? Your service has been bested by Game Pass to where you're revamping PS Now, and Xbox is acquiring big-name studios left and right. Kind of feels like Last of Us Remaster shouldn't be a priority. Well, okay, so like we kind of talked about earlier, I think PlayStation's definitely got more up their sleeve than just The Last of Us Remaster, you know what I mean? That's probably just what's leaked to the public so far, you know? I think PlayStation probably also doesn't want to drop any big news in the wake of all this other crazy shit going on.
Yeah, for it to get crowded.
Drowned out, you know? It's like the same reason they skipped E3 this year or last year and then like a month later announced a bunch of big shit, you know what I mean? I feel like they want to have everybody's attention to themselves, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree. I think their next move is to wait like a month or two and then drop some big name shit.
Yeah.
That hasn't been announced yet. I really do think they need to get away from their last gen IPs though. Like away from like Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever the fuck it's called is great. God of War's great. But like we need, you know, something else. Spider-Man was great, which is another thing. You know, it's like, but they need this, what gets them, you know, their popularity is the new shit. Like they always have like a new IP that like you don't expect it to be fucking amazing, and then it is.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's kind of what I think they need to do in like the next month or two is like announce some games that like we've never seen.
And I think that's definitely what they will do. You know, I think that's probably been their plan this whole time. You know, I think honestly, if you're Sony, the smartest thing you could do is just stick to your game plan, stick to your guns. You know, like don't just start going crazy and changing everything because Xbox is making big moves right now. You know what I mean? Yes, Xbox is in a better position. Yes, they're more competitive now. But that doesn't like mean Sony's just
is not competitive.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think if I was Sony, I would just, maybe behind closed doors have a few discussions, but ultimately stick to your guns and just keep releasing stuff at the same, pace that you've been releasing it, because it's been working well,
For sure.
But, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, unless Xbox really opens the floodgates, you don't have much to worry about for now. You
still have like a
like
year or two before anything starts happening. Actually, it depends on how things go with fucking Starfield at the end of this year.
Well, yeah, Starfield makes like $1 billion, which it very well might. You know what I mean? Like, that could definitely change, like, just how much money Microsoft can pump back into more shit. You know what I mean? Like, it could definitely affect everything for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely will affect everything. Like, I think, man, a lot of Microsoft's success really hinges on Starfield being an awesome fucking game. Like, and I think it will be,
Definitely.
Okay, let's see. We got Jonathan Omen here. He says,
The Omen.
How do you think the new acquisitions by Xbox will affect the console wars? You think Xbox has finally pulled ahead, or contrary to popular belief, have they just acquired a bunch of dying game creators from past gens in an attempt to cash in on pay-to-win games, pushing the nostalgia of PlayStation 3 and the guise of new system gameplay?
I don't think that's the case. I really don't think Microsoft's goal is to do pay to win. I think they're too smart for that. Especially Phil Spencer, whenever he's at the head of things, his whole goal is to give the people what they want. Like, that's all Phil Spencer does, and like, if that was the case, whenever they purchased Bethesda, you would have seen a lot more bullshit coming from them. They've had Bethesda for almost 2 years now, and we still haven't seen a game from them. If they were just trying to push out bullshit to make money, like right off the bat, then that's what they would have done. But they're not. They're taking their sweet time. But they don't even have an exclusive from their fucking the other team that Arcane Studio, or what's the one that did Deathloop. They haven't even forced them into doing anything yet. Like, they're waiting. Like, they're doing it nice and slow. First off, Redfall looks nothing like pay to win.
No,
like, there's no.
They're not gonna. It's not gonna be a pay to win thing.
Yeah,
that's definitely not the takeaway we should be looking at here. I think he's just throwing a bunch of hot button words together.
The buzzwords.
Like, I don't think he really means all that. He's just asking, is Xbox is finally doing better than PlayStation?
No, and I don't think they're doing better than PlayStation. I think that we're just seeing competition now. And like Brent was saying earlier, we're finally seeing Sony have
real competition. Yeah, like
where they have to face something other than like just putting out their own fucking awesome games and then having nothing to worry about.
Which really isn't something we've seen since the original Xbox came out. You know what I mean? Like, sure.
Well, 360, they were on top.
360 was on top, yeah, for sure.
But since Xbox One came out, we've been under, like, when it comes to Xbox.
What I mean is, like, PlayStation hasn't really been challenged like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, because, for a while it was just PlayStation and Nintendo and, like, Dreamcast, and then Xbox came on the scene and fucking just drop kicked everybody in the fucking groin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think this is Xbox drop kicking everybody in the groin again, you know what I mean? But PlayStation survived the last drop kick to the groin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thrived. I definitely think, okay, so the way I look at it, to answer your question, is I think PlayStation, like, if you're a gamer, I would rather have a PS5 right now.
Yeah, in the current.
If you're an investor, I would rather have stock in Xbox right now, personally. You know what I mean? Like,
also, like, even outside of investing, like, just because we don't know PlayStation's goal and like how they're going to respond to this.
Yeah.
I honestly think if you were to purchase a console for the long run, right now, it might be Xbox, just because we don't know what it's going to be like in the next 5 years. We do know for a fact that they own some amazing studios, and we do know for a fact that the last 2 games they put out were great.
Yeah.
Now, and we also know they're all coming to Game Pass day one. So that's kind of my thing. It's like if you want really good games right now, we know for a fact PlayStation has them. If you want really good games going forward, we don't know. Like, it could be Xbox, it could be PlayStation. Xbox is just kind of setting themselves up for, like, this amazing, like, they're getting ready to fucking bat this shit off the tee. but like we don't know what is going to come from it.
But see, we do have a lot to look forward to on PlayStation right now. You know, like we've got Horizon, we've got God of War.
But that's right now. That's what I'm saying.
The VR 2, you know what I mean? Like as far as Xbox, the only thing that's like foreseeable in the future is Starfield. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing to have in the But
and Redfall and Fable. And
but like, do we have a date for those? Do we have like an exact
Redfall?
time?
We have a date, but I don't think we have one for Fable.
Not a real prospect right now. You know, like we don't know when or like how far out Fable is, or you know, I definitely am excited about Fable, but I don't think we're gonna get it anytime soon. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean? And frankly, I don't even really think we're gonna get Starfield anytime soon. I know we have a date for it, but I think it's going to get pushed back. I don't know why, but like I feel like we haven't heard enough about Starfield. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know about that. I don't think it's going to get pushed back just because I don't think they're going to do that. I just don't think Bethesda doesn't delay very often.
Yeah.
You know, like,
either way, I just feel like, you know, we got to get more stuff like to actually look forward to on Xbox, you know what I mean? Cuz like you definitely have like at least Horizon and God of War, and then Forspoken if it ends up being good. But honestly, I'm not holding my breath on Forspoken.
Yeah, and also they haven't shown much about Avowed. Wait, is Avowed on Xbox?
Avowed is Xbox.
Yeah,
yes.
So you also got that Avowed game as well on Xbox. That's supposed to come out this year. But I don't know.
That's again, it's one of those we don't know much about, you know. Like there's a lot of stuff that's been announced for the Xbox side of things that will eventually be here, and I think all of them will be good. Like Outer Worlds 2, I think is something we should all be really hyped about.
I forgot they even announced that.
You know what I mean? Like that's just some shit that like the first one I really liked, and I think
it had a lot of potential.
Yeah. So like if they're really expanding on the potential of the first Outer Worlds, I think that's definitely something to keep your eye on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Xbox has a lot in the pipeline. It's just not a lot that's like set in stone yet.
Or like it's not what's the word for it? Like we don't know what it is really. Like we know what it is, but we don't know. It's too up in the air.
And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that's a direct result of Xbox telling all their studios, "Hey, come work for us. You'll have as much time as you need to finish your projects, so they're great." You know what I mean? Like, I think Xbox isn't putting, like, hard deadlines on these projects and stuff, you know what I mean? Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which also goes against the whole idea of them, like, doing the pay to win and, like, make a bunch of money real fast, like...
I think this is more of a Netflix positioning themselves to be like the Netflix of video games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's obvious to me that that's what they want, you know? Like you look at the infancy of Netflix as a company, you know, they were selling discs. Like they were like, I mean, there's some
shipping them out.
Yeah, they were shipping you discs. Like when I first got Netflix, like back in the day, like you got a DVD in the mail and you shipped it back in the mail. And then they shipped you another DVD. And it was like a whole different business model, you know? Like, they evolved and overcame and became, like, the ultimate streaming service. You know what I mean? I think Xbox is really taking a lot of cues from, like, how Netflix evolved into what they are today. And a lot of that is, like, having independent content that you can only view on Netflix. And good independent content that you can only view on Netflix. Because it's not just that, like... Netflix has its own shows, you know. Lots of studios have their own shows, like Amazon Prime and Hulu.
None of them are Netflix.
Netflix has shitloads of good shows. You know what I mean? Not just like one or two good shows. Like Hulu's got like The Handmaid's Tale, and that's like it. You know what I mean? Like Netflix has like Stranger Things and fucking Squid Games and like so many of the great
a bunch
shows
of foreign
of the past
stuff
10 years.
and things
You know,
like that.
That's what Xbox is going to turn into. You know, like you might still have Hulu and stuff, but like you're gonna, I don't know, all the great shit is gonna come from fucking Game Pass. You know, I don't know. I really think it's gonna be like that in 10 years. But you know, that's a whole console cycle from now. You know?
I don't think it's gonna take 10 years. I think we're looking at 3 years.
Well, okay,
before
so
shit starts
again,
dropping.
you look at like Netflix in its infancy. You know, like Netflix didn't take 10 years to become like great.
Yeah.
But it also didn't become what it is today overnight. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I think like when I say in 10 years, like I mean like this is like that'll be like the apex, you know.
Oh yeah, of
Xbox
course.
Game Pass, like with just dickloads of games that you can't even like fathom. You know what I mean? I think in 5 years we'll be at a mark where it's like just incredible. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
the thing.
It's already
incredible. Yeah.
But when I say incredible, I mean like we'll start seeing the fruits of all this $70 billion worth of money. You know, we'll start seeing like just like 20 plus games that you can't play anywhere other than Game Pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know, like, and not just 20 plus games you can play, like 20 plus like amazing games, you know.
And I think that, like I said, I still think in 3 years it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be, you're gonna have your fucking Starfield, you're gonna have your Fable, you're gonna have your Avowed, you're gonna have your fucking Redfall, you're gonna have all this shit that like we don't know much about now. In 3 years we will have most of those on Game Pass day one, plus all the stuff we don't know about the other announcements that are going to come out. Like I guarantee you Quake is getting remade at this point, like things like that, just things you can't predict really, other than like it's coming, you just don't know when. Yeah. And I really think in the next 3 years that's when we're going to see it. It's like all that shit. 2024 maybe 2025 is going to be when Xbox is just like untouchable for a little while, and then we'll see how it goes though.
I think by the end of this year you'll start getting more announcements and stuff. I think by 2025 you'll start seeing like games drop. Like I really think, I think you're right. I think maybe 2026 you'll have like, I don't know. I'm thinking, man, 5 years. Yeah, I think 5 years from now, like you'll have like an insane ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's also interesting to think about what PlayStation's going to do, because like they're not just going to roll over and die. You know, like they've got to make some big moves, and I think by the end of this year we're going to have a whole different concept of like what we expect from PlayStation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Definitely. See where they allot their money. If they continue to just focus on putting out like amazing exclusives, or if they take some of that money and focus it elsewhere, like into PlayStation Now Deluxe or whatever the fuck they call it. It's like, is that going to affect the way that they put out the pace of their games coming out? Is it going to affect what games go on that exclusive platform and stuff like that? Like, that's what I mean, is how everything's up in the air. Is we don't know how this affects everything. We don't know. Like right now, if you want great games, there's like 5 good exclusives on PlayStation, and there's like 2 good exclusives on Xbox. So like that's your option there. It's like, you want 5 or you want 2 exclusives. So right now,
yeah, but there's more than that too, though. It's not just the exclusives. You also have like the promise of more exclusives. Like next month alone, we have 2 exclusives coming to PlayStation. You know what I mean?
And those are the ones that I'm talking about. Because right now you have Spider-Man.
Right.
You have Avowed.
Right.
And then you have...
no, Avowed is an Xbox.
Or not Avowed. What the fuck is that game called? I keep mixing it up in my head.
So, okay, exclusive PlayStation 5 games that we have right now.
Yeah.
We have
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. We have Returnal.
Returnal, that's what I want.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We have Demon's Souls. We have Uncharted Legacy Collection that's coming out. I don't count
that as exclusive. That came out last year.
Well,
it's
still
like a last
completely
gen.
remastered for the next
Yeah, but for
generation.
2, it's like the 2 last games and a fucking... Like, I'm talking about exclusives, like, for the new console.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, it's a PS5 game that's only playable on PlayStation Family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could play it on PS4.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough. So then you don't count that. You don't count Ghost of Tsushima, which is also completely redone in 4K. You know what I mean? But basically a new game. You know what I mean? Fucking. I forgot where we were even talking about, to be honest.
We're talking about how many exclusives are on each console.
I lost count. But there's a fucking shitload.
There's like 5 or 6. Like, even with the new... the thing right now. That's what I'm saying. There's like 5 or 6 exclusives.
No, I mean, no. Hold up.
If you go,
there's more than if you're counting the ones that are coming out in the next like few months, there's way more than 5 or 6. Hold up,
because you got the new God of War doesn't come out now, does it? That doesn't come out till later.
It comes out later.
Yeah, later this year. I'm talking about. So then you got Horizon Forbidden West. So that would make like 5 or 6.
Hang on, I'm about to tell you all of the PlayStation exclusive games. So, okay, Deathloop will not be soon, but it currently is a PlayStation exclusive. Returnal is a PlayStation exclusive.
Okay, so
Demon
2.
Souls, Sackboy Big Adventure, which I don't even really want to count. But again, I mean, if you're not okay, hold up. This is a bad website. Hold up. Okay, Horizon Forbidden West is coming next month, so that doesn't count. Gran Turismo 7 coming.
I mean, Horizon Forbidden West does count. That counts as an exclusive.
Okay, well, that's coming next month. Gran Turismo 7 coming. Ragnarok coming. Forspoken coming. Ghostwire Tokyo coming.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the next couple months.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so yeah.
So there's like 5 or 6 in the next.
But then the ones we already have, hold up, current PS5 exclusives. So current PS5 exclusive, Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Deathloop.
Which one is Destruction All-Stars?
It's like that Twisted Metal type game.
I don't even remember that.
Godfall.
Godfall was shitty, though.
It was terrible. But it's still an exclusive.
Technically, yeah.
You
But
know.
it's on PC as well, though.
And I don't know. I know you don't want to count these, but Death Stranding Director's Cut, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Then I could just count all the fucking, games that, like, fucking Xbox, like, remastered or whatever for Game Pass. Like,
what do you got there? Like Gears of War 5? You know?
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
mean?
I'm saying.
That's
it's
it.
but it's
you know
not
what I mean?
I don't count that because it came out on fucking 360 or not 360 Xbox One. It's like I'm talking about like next gen exclusives because if you have a PS4, you don't have to have a PS5 to play those games.
Okay, well, fair enough. But there's still, at least 6 out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all I was saying is that there's like 6
with more to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
obviously. But that's what I'm saying is like there's more to come on both sides either way.
Yeah.
Like just because it's like this one is guaranteed like next month or whatever to get another exclusive.
I'm just saying
versus,
you're going to be waiting at least a year for anything other than Starfield on Xbox. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Unless something crazy happens,
Correct. Yeah. That's all I'm saying though. It's like in the
which is not the case for
year,
PlayStation.
This year, yeah, you definitely go PlayStation. But in the future, that's where we don't fucking know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
true.
saying.
It's
It's
true.
like so it's hard to base like buying a whole console on something right now whenever you don't know where it's going.
But you also know that you're getting a PlayStation VR 2 pretty soon with the
which is a whole
PlayStation,
extra buy.
Which is something if you're into that, that is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole feature that you could base your console purchase
Definitely.
off of.
If you're into VR and like but then you're spending like $700, $800.
Well, we don't know how much the
No,
PSVR is
I'm talking
cost.
about total together. Like no matter what, it's going to be at least $200.
Sure. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's cheap. I'm just saying like if you have an interest in VR, then that should definitely
Be
impact
on
your
your radar.
decision. You know what I mean?
For sure. I'm just saying, like, that's still going to be expensive as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's, like, going in like, I'm going to get a fucking... I mean, some people, I'm sure, are like, I'm just getting a PlayStation for PSVR.
I think you'd be surprised. I'm not necessarily... Okay, I think whenever it comes out and people see how fucking dope it is, like, all the people that were on the fence about, like...
The original one.
Dude, there are people that bought a fucking whole-ass PC just to play Half-Life Alyx, you know what I'm saying? Like... And that's just to play Half-Life Alyx, you know? Like, if you could, do everything you can do with a PS5 plus play VR, it's not like you're just getting a VR machine, you know what I mean? Like,
no, for sure. You're not. That's why it's like an extra, like...
But see, the thing is, and this is another thing we don't think about with PlayStation's exclusives, is PlayStation's exclusives, reach deep into the VR scene, A lot of people rag on PSVR, and it is one of the worst VR headsets out,
it's one of the oldest.
Currently, because it is one of the oldest, but it had so many great exclusives, like the Iron Man VR game and up until recently Hitman 3, which I've heard is horrible on PC VR for some reason. I've seen so many people ragging on it, and I'm like, dude, the fucking PlayStation one was really good. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I think
It's interesting. It's probably just not optimized.
I think they just didn't optimize it. They probably just direct ported it from... Either way, it had a lot of really good... VR exclusives. So I'm thinking that's, if you're a VR, that'll probably attract PC players too that are into VR,
Oh yeah,
because
or specifically VR people.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
And I think you're right. I think Microsoft, with all this metaverse talk, I think it's foolish to think that there won't be some kind of VR
support
thing they put out.
If they don't at least put the Oculus or not, what is it called? Not Oculus, the fucking the one you were talking about, the mixed reality platform or whatever.
Yeah. You know what I think would be cool is if Xbox did a standalone thing. you know, just like an Xbox like version
Oculus.
of a Quest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where it's like it's got its own ecosystem. You don't have to have an Xbox to play it, you know. It's just its own thing, you know. Because Xbox has never really done like a handheld console or any kind of like spin-off console or anything like that, you know what I mean?
True. And I think as awesome as I think that would be, I don't think Xbox would ever do it just because now they're trying to like unify all their shit. I think that they're just trying to make it like Microsoft or like Xbox, your TV becomes your PC. Like I think that's what they want.
Yeah, but think about how cool that could be.
Oh, it'd be fucking awesome.
Like if you had like, and it could work with Game Pass. Like I don't see why you couldn't like put on your VR headset and then just like sit in a movie theater playing Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
Oh yeah, 2D or like flat screen games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you know have like a VR Game Pass. I mean you got a PC Game Pass. You know what I mean?
Pay like another $2 a month or whatever, and you got VR
Game Pass.
games.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have to like break into Steam or whatever. And then also any game going forward that was VR compatible, would work for the Xbox.
You know what I think would be cool is if Xbox partnered up with Vive. You know what I mean? Because first of all, I think Vive is one of the most underrated like VR headset manufacturers on the market right now. Because like before Index existed, you know what I mean? Vive was basically the pioneers for like the lighthouse tracking and stuff. You know, like the most advanced tracking system right now is the lighthouse trackers that were originally used with the HTC Vive, and now they're like used with the fucking Valve Index or whatever. But it's the same trackers, that technology was invented by Vive, I think if Vive and Xbox partner together, because Vive also has a subscription service called Viveport Infinity, which is basically just Game Pass for fucking VR. And it's got all kinds of great shit. They could have a head start. Just buy fucking Viveport Infinity and rebrand it as Xbox Game Pass for PC. I mean, Xbox, VR Game Pass, however you want to fucking word it, you know what I mean?
Or just throw a bunch of VR games on the Game Pass, and
only make them pop up when you're in the headset.
Yeah.
Like, to where it's, that could be cool.
Like, it's like right now, whenever you go to Game Pass, like the app or whatever, it's like, console game list and then like PC game list, and then you just have one that says VR
Another
game
tab.
list.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like it'd be simple to do, and like they could just spend one of their cool bills on a fucking just a plethora of VR games that already exist. Get some contracts that's like, hey, we want this on our Game Pass for like the next 5 years or whatever. And just
I really
throw all that
think
shit
teaming
on.
up with Vive would be the move, because you could have a team of professionals that know what they're doing, that can make a dope headset. And you could have that existing ecosystem, you know what I mean, to like integrate. I feel like that.
Or buy Steam. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck it at this point.
Yeah,
you know
they're just like, let's just
whatever,
dude.
How much do you think they would have to pay Valve to buy Steam? Like realistically, like
probably another $70 billion. Their other half of their money. Like
I feel like Steam might even be worth more than that, just because the platform itself is like.
I honestly don't know.
That's like trying to buy Walmart or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but you would have to buy Valve, basically, right? Because Valve owns Steam.
Valve does own Steam, yeah.
How much is Valve worth?
A fucking shitload.
Valve was valued at $10 billion as of March 2019. Yeah.
Wow.
So based on discussions with Michael Patra, a Los Angeles-based analyst at Wedbush Securities, the value has been readjusted for the performance of the Russell 1000 Electronic Entertainment Index since then. So the net worth is technically $12 billion at this point.
That still seems so low.
Yeah, Xbox could roll up in there, dude. But I think that would actually be heading towards a monopoly. They can't actually do that.
Well, I mean, I feel like
legally,
the fact that Epic Games exists keeps that
that's
from
true.
happening.
They could buy it. Yeah.
They could do that. You know what I mean?
Dude, Xbox, buy Steam. And fucking
Bro, that would be the most fuckery thing of all time, dude. Like, can you imagine if just like Steam suddenly turned into Xbox? Like, it was just And not only that,
and then it goes to your console.
You'd have Half-Life 3 as an Xbox exclusive.
Holy shit! Like at that point, like you might as well just buy an Xbox.
And Valve would be the Index would be a fucking Xbox thing. That everything would just turn into that would be the most chaotic fucking move of Xbox of all time.
Yeah,
dude. And honestly, I kind of hope they do it.
Yeah, that's like some fucking coup shit. Like they're just fucking plotting a coup. They're like,
dude, for real.
Yeah, don't worry, Sony. Don't worry. We're just making some positive competition.
Positive
and we just
gaming for all.
We just bought Steam, bitch. And they're like, fucking turn evil. Like, like that. After that, like Phil Spencer no longer is like cool as fuck with other like, fucking companies and shit. He's just like, yo, all y'all fucking
fell for it.
Like that'd be the shit. Anyways, yeah, okay, good question and whatnot because we went on for a while with that. Mr. Omen.
Interesting stuff.
Anyways, that's it for the questions, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to our listener questions and everything. Now we're gonna wrap up the show with Brent's
Name That Game. So okay,
Easy.
This is inspired by the classic Name That Pokemon segment of each episode of Pokemon.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I'm gonna vaguely describe a game to you.
Okay.
And then you have to guess what game it is. Okay.
All right. You should do these where like you kind of give like the dumbest description, like the most dumbed down description of what it is, where it's like a guy, like tries this like think like a guy likes picking up gold coins, like some dumb shit like it's like Mario, like it's
Look,
like
if these aren't dumb enough for you,
okay, all right,
I will get extra dumb with it next time.
Let's do it.
All right. Set on an island off the coast of Japan, a young woman and her friends are stranded after a shipwreck and must fight against a violent cult and supernatural storms to escape.
Supernatural storms. Young woman off the coast of where?
Japan. You probably wouldn't realize that, though, from the game itself. Because nobody in the game seems Japanese.
They gotta fight through violent storms. Okay.
Another kind of side note that's in the game itself. Look, it's vague, okay? We're being vague here.
All right, give me the side note.
That's it. That was it. The storms themselves. It's not like the supernatural storms are like a gameplay thing. I'm not giving you any more clues.
Okay.
But they're just mentioned in the game, and like they're a plot point.
Is this a older game?
No, not too old. Maybe it's nearly 10 years old at this point, but not that old. Maybe like 8 years old or something.
Okay. I don't know. Tomb Raider?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That was too easy. I gave you too many hints.
Yeah, well, only thing that made me think Tomb Raider in the first place was the girl and the like shipwrecked. I was like, what other game does like a specifically woman?
Those two combo. Yeah. All right, get ready.
I'm ready.
This is a game about infant brothers accidentally being dropped onto an island full of dinosaurs. Oh. One gets kidnapped and the other gets carried to the kidnapped one by the dinosaurs.
Well, this isn't obvious. It's Super Mario Bros. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Story or Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't remember.
Yoshi's Story is the N64 one, I think.
I always get
that.
All
right, I'm getting harder and more vague next time,
for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I liked it though. I like this one. I'm ready to see what the future holds for this little gimmick we got here. So, all right, that's it for the show, guys. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, youtube.com/Create for Sanity, and facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to submit any questions you want us to read on the show to the Facebook group as well. And then you can always, chat with us in the Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast. And then if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle @JoffreyJamel, Brent at Brent has one, that's the number 1, and Devin at Devondrius. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners,